Welcome to the episode I hope to never fucking do. This is episode 54 of Ken's Counseling Couch. This is probably Ken's pissed off furious couch tonight and a bunch of other things. But breaking news, if you can't read the title, Rekieta Law has been yeeted from YouTube. This is not a drill. This is for realsy shit. He had 2 strikes pending within 90 days, and then during his Daryl Brooks stream earlier today, apparently there was a mass flagging campaign due to him discussing the 50, I think it was 40 something or 50 something people who filed baseless board complaints against him to the Minnesota Professional Responsibility Board for lawyers. And so apparently people don't like it when you call them out on their bullshit. So yeah, they false flagged him. So a 3rd strike has happened, and now Rekieta's channel has been terminated from YouTube. Currently, Nick is, this is the information I have from his locals chat. Nick is currently going to pick up family members from events and family first. I agree with. I hope to hear from him in a bit. I will offer Nick an opportunity to come up here. I know he refused to go on Fair and Balanced show, I think, from what she was saying, because he's worried about other people getting strikes. I do not care today. I legitimately don't. If I get a strike and get banned for a week, oh well. I sometimes go a couple weeks without streaming anyway because of my busy schedule. I don't give a shit. But right now, I'll put this out there publicly, and I've let Nick know before. Now it's my turn to give back what Nick's done for me. So Nick, if you're listening, or I'll talk to you later, hopefully. You need anything, you make the phone call. You have earned the status of you can wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning if you're not okay and need to talk status. You have my phone number because I made sure you had it last night for something else. But you have my phone number. Call me if you need to. Vent if you need to. This is obviously a stressful time. I will say this, that there has been a bit of Fed posting in Nick's locals chat. Don't be fucking stupid. This is going to be handled. As someone who's gone through something similar, not necessarily the same, but having your career upended underneath of you like that, suddenly, like when I lost my job last year, I went from, doing therapy, having my clients, and all of a sudden it was bullshit. And now I no longer have a job the next day. So it's very much overwhelming, very stressful. It's a lot, especially when you have kids. I don't have kids. Nick has several kids. I've met Lady Rackets. I've met Nick in person. Spent quite a bit of time with them a couple years ago at Road Rage Tampa. And they were both amazing people to work with. Nick has been an amazing person to ever have let me on his streams in the first place. And I've always been amazed at his hospitality. And so it's very easy to get frustrated, upset, and mad right now. The best thing you can do is do the shit I do. One of my literal hobbies is data hoarding and saving information. After I got doxxed last year, I wrote scripts to literally archive every second in every YouTube chat of the Karens who doxed me and who went after my work. About 4 to 6 months of their streams are saved and archived, and I've been slowly uploading to the Internet Archive. Most of them are bullshit. There's nothing important in them. But I saved a lot of it. Why? Because it's important to have. You never know what information you'll need. You never know what information will be helpful. Some of that information can be extremely helpful. Some of that information can be crucial to doing things. For example, if Nick can take a packet of stuff and take it to his YouTube partner, which he has because he's a subscriber with over 100,000 subscribers, and he's one of the top income earners on the platform via super chats, yeah, they're gonna give him a little bit of someone to kind of talk to. He has a physical person to talk to. Whereas if I get banned, I'm fucked. Like I don't have that. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. Like I don't make that much money off of here. This job, this has helped me in a few tight spots occasionally. I get a few $100 depending on the month. Like last month, I don't think I hit the cutoff to get paid, so I didn't get paid from YouTube because I didn't really stream that month because of my alcohol stream for my birthday stuff. Yeah, I definitely crossed the threshold for payout this month, but like that's a higher month than normal. Like I don't make the money out here. I love doing this because one, it's educational, it's helpful for other people, and I like what I do. I love my profession, and having met Nick, having the opportunity to have the acquaintanceship or friendship or whatever the fuck you want to call it, having that, I know I can pretty much, and for anyone who knows me, who's seen me do this, I'm really good at this, and that's not to fluff myself, but I'm pretty good at predicting people in certain ways and responding to events. I've had clients tell me, how do you do that? And it's just because of what I do. I'm just really good at, it's like one of the things I'm really good at. Like I know a lot of probably what's going through Nick's head right now because I just pulled up Nick's playboard for shits and giggles to show my wife. Nick, like his super chats that show up on playboard, 1.1 mil. So he's a big income earner. Like it's not like money to laugh at. He makes really good money at what he does, and he earned that money. People want to pay him money to chat, and as someone who's paid him money to chat, as someone who pays to join his locals and that can be in his Discord, I love it. I love being able. Before I got to be a guest, before I got the opportunity to be a mod and all that shit, paying to chat, and because Nick is someone who is very genuine, very passionate about, his field, which is law, but he does have a touch beyond that. Like he has impacts far beyond just law. Many people I think he's done more than just that. I think he's been paramount in helping save people's lives, helping people do things like put their lives back on track, lose weight. He's not just, while he does shit post and does his law shit, he is very much more than that as a person. Meeting him in person versus the Rekieta I got to, know online, that the backstage Rekieta versus the show. It's not like he's two different people. He's much more sincere than he'll give himself credit for. I'll say that. He's very polite. You could tell he's passionate. You could tell he cares about his family. And for me to sit here and watch this, it's frustrating. Because I've seen Rekieta. I was one of Rekieta's probably first 10,000 subscribers. I was back from the Kumite days and from the part of the... I remember watching the 24-hour live stream back when he got 24,000 subscribers. I've been around for a long fucking time on Rekieta streams. Under different usernames, obviously, and no one will ever know what some of those are. I came out as Ken Jennings from Kiwi Farms because of the Toye shit, and that's how I ended up being a guest on Nick's show. And, even with all the stuff that's gone on, Nick has stood behind me, Nick has backed me up, and today is my day to do the same. I don't think Nick did anything incorrect. I think if people want to do something like file an ethics complaint and go after your job and put your name out there and put their name on a document that says your information is going to be sent to the person you're bitching about, that you run the risk of that person publishing that document and saying, these are the people fucking with my life. These are the people coming after my livelihood. For example, when I was doxxed last year, several people doxxed some of the Karens that were involved, some of them that weren't. I have a good idea who was and who wasn't involved. And for those who said to me they weren't involved, and for the ones I believe I can trust, I've apologized and said, I'm sorry that happened. None of this is done at my doing. But it pissed a lot of people off to see what happened. Because people love my show, or love what I've done, They like that I've been a guest on Nick. They like what I do on the internet. They like the fact that I help people, that I help kids, that I do what I do. And so when people saw that come get pulled out from underneath of me, people got pissed off. Rightly so. So when it happens to someone, and the same for me, when I see it happen to Nick, I can guarantee you Nick has saved a lot more lives than you can imagine. Even with the parasocial relationship and all that stuff, because I'm sure, Aiden Paladin has done stuff on that. All this other stuff about these kind of things, whether they're healthy or not. I've watched Rekieta's chat room or his live chats. I've watched his comments. I've seen the amount of impact and influence Rekieta has had on people has been substantial over the last several years, especially with the blow up of his channel in recent months, over the last year or two with Rittenhouse and shit. It's insane. So for a man who doesn't, and I've told him before, you'd probably be a really good therapist. And he's like, no, I would fucking suck at it. I truly believe he could be a good therapist because he's sincere. He cares about what he does. He likes what he does. And he likes people. You see people post it, and I know people hate the toast and shit on his streams. They say, oh, this takes up time, but he takes time to craft an eloquently stated statement. He says, oh, this is that. I'm sorry for your loss. Rest in peace for this, or to the best to you, and all this other stuff. And you can hear in his voice the passion and the intensity that he puts into it. It's not just like, oh yeah, your birthday, happy birthday, fuck off and have a nice day. There's investment in it. There's a lot of shit that goes to it. So when his online persona is different. My online persona is different. I tend to be myself. Maybe I emphasize a little bit. Maybe I fuck around a little bit more on YouTube than I would in real life. But if you sat down with me in therapy, a lot of what you see is what you get. Here you hear me because you don't really see me. You have my AI generated face on the screen right now, or my cartoon face, depending on the day. But you get what you get, and I'm genuine because it works. I've seen it change lives. I've seen it make a difference. So why would I do anything different? Nick is the same way. Whoever, and I'll be the first to say this. One, let me go ahead and say this first. Stop bed posting. If you really want to help Nick, stop bed posting. Stop saying stupid shit. Stop going, oh, we're going to go kill you. Shut the fuck up. You're not. Yes, Nick has been kicked off YouTube. He has been removed from YouTube, and his channel's gone. It's like gone. Ironically enough, I was talking with someone the other day about continuing my work on archiving Rekieta's channel and putting it on the Internet Archive. But first, stop bed posting. It's not It's not giving in to the people. It's not giving in to the people who are saying, Keffels or the quote unquote trainees or whoever is responsible for this. Not giving in to not fucking make threats against people's lives and say, well, we're going to go mass flag and let's go target harassment. Don't be stupid. First, give Nick time to work on his shit. I guarantee you Nick has contacted some of his people or he's in the process of it. Right now, family's first. He's taking care of his family. They, he could take care of the kids. Kids and wife come first. All this other YouTube shit comes after. It'll get taken care of. Give him a chance to breathe. He will figure it out one way or the other. Yeah, you don't want to mass flag in return because it doesn't help support the evidence of, well, this is a targeted campaign when you're going and retargeting back. It tends to look kind of bad. Squall Shade, his channel's gone. Not just 2 weeks suspension. It's the third strike within 90 days. Right now, it's gone. So, you have to work within a somewhat of a reasonable boundary right now. Just because the other side doesn't follow the rules doesn't mean you don't have to as well. If you want to end up winning at the end of the day, you do have to sometimes take the bit of the higher road, even at first. Because one, you already have You already have a bunch of shit going on with everything, with the Kiwi Farm stuff with Keffels and all the other things. And so Rekieta just posted an update. So let me go ahead and pull this up live and we'll read this together. 22 seconds ago. So present screen, Chrome tab. Okay, here we go. Not the porn tab. Perfect. All right, here we go. So I'll go ahead and full screen this and zoom in. So this is literally 22 seconds ago. I got a Chrome announcement for it, or a Chrome alert. First off, welcome and thank you. I'm still gathering information about this, but yes, my YouTube channel has been deleted at present. I have not been given any specific reason. My partner manager is working on this, and it has been escalated way up the chain. I'm not entirely sure what my plans for tonight is at the moment. I believe I will be on a very big show tomorrow morning. The amount of support is melting my phone battery, and I appreciate that very much. I'm asking people to make sure and share my multiple channels, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitch. I'm not 100%, hold on, read more. I'm not 100% sure where everything will be or what will happen. As always, I will post here what I intend to do. I will keep the chat open from the previous live stream for people to discuss in the meanwhile. Wednesday nights are always busy for me, so I have to take care of home stuff first, of course. Will update when I can. So there you go. There's an open live chat if anyone wants to come. If you're a supporter, you can comment in his live chat. He's working on shit. I don't know who he's working. I don't know who he's going on tomorrow. Nick has always has an open invitation here. Yeah, so let me go ahead and let me at least try and pin some of his locals in his key. Rekieta.locals.com. I don't remember his Rumble off the top of my head. I think it's like rumble.com/c/Rekieta Law. And then Odyssey Rekieta Law. That way I have the right ones. Here we go. Then here's the, and then I'll verify the Rumble one too. Rumble Rekieta Law. Oh, I didn't capitalize mine. I don't know if that'll be important or not, but I'll fix it. All right, so here's his current socials. His Twitter was yeeted too. Oh shit, I fucked that up. Hold on. Let me go to, here's my fucking, yeah, I fucked it up. Hold on. Remove. All right, let me try it this way. So there's that one. KiaLaw.locals.com. And let me get that Odyssey one back too. His Twitch is pretty easy to find. As Nick said in his updated post, there is no reason. His partner manager is working on it though. It's been escalated up the chain. So there, that is that. So let me pin that to the top of the chat. Oh, I gotta do that from my YouTube dashboard, not. Yeah, I read one of the updates, Angela. Let me see if there's another one. But more, yeah. I will update when I can. Okay. I think that's the most recent one. Yeah. Okay, that seems to be correct. Also, I'm on Locals too if anyone wants to follow me. Ken's Counseling Couch.locals.com. You don't have to subscribe. Just follow me so you can get updates about my stream if you like my content. This is a bit different than my normal content for obvious reasons. Yeah, he's on Twitter. He still has Twitch, but I understand, Nikki, that he didn't dox anyone, and I completely agree with that statement. That doesn't mean that when people mass flag and say he is doxing, that the people who do the analysis at YouTube and go whether or not it's a dox or not, doesn't mean that they don't look at it and go, hey, this is a dox, so we're going to go ahead and pull your channel down and just go ahead and yeet you for whatever it is, which is bullshit. Yeah. So I'm pretty pissed myself. 'Cause Also, for anyone who's in my Discord, at least for now, I'm going to go ahead and post the invite link if anyone wants to come up and talk. Come up and talk. And then after that's been down for a minute, I might post it publicly. But last time I did that during my birthday stream, someone tried showing dick videos on the back in the backstage. Thankfully, I did not put them in the front stage for the stream because that would have been bad because I would have definitely gotten a strike for that one. So, but yeah, anyone in my Discord wants to pop up and talk, Tracy or Tim, Drexel, if you're available and you want to come up, please do. Let's see here. Let me send a direct link to both of them. Go to his Discord and send a link. 1 second. I'll also send one to Tim too. Not trying to dead air it. All right. That's sent to Drexel, and then let me get Tim real quick. I don't know if Tim's busy or not, but I'm gonna send it to him anyway. But anyone else who wants to pop up in Discord, I'll give you guys a chance first. But fuck, I still can't believe this. But Nick's not in my Discord, but I have ways to contact Nick that are. I have Nick's worker personal number, and he has my worker personal number. Like I have the ability to reach out to Nick directly. It's not an issue. Also, what's up, Badge Bunny? What's up, everybody who's popping in? We got 70 people watching. That's a bit higher than my normal amounts. If you're just now joining us, for those who don't know, TFM is Turklinging Monkey. It's hey, Tim is popping up. Hey, Tim, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're coming through. This is bullshit. Yeah. I also sent an invite to Drexel. I don't know if he's wanting to jump up or not.
He might be at work.
Okay, I saw him in the Discord. I saw him in a Discord somewhere chatting in text a while ago. I didn't know if he was working or not. So.
Usually he gets like a chant, like he goes on the union mandated smoke break, which is funny because he doesn't even smoke. But no, if he's in the Discord during the day, he's usually just on his phone on a break or whatever.
I think it was in Rekieta's Discord and Shill or something. I think he was commenting on a video or something. So I thought it was like an hour or two ago. Maybe it was.
Yeah, he was in general because he had to like confirm the news, right? Because I mean, man, we gotta deploy our Drexel down to California, and
I know.
We gotta.
For those who are asking in my Discord or in the chat, if you want to join my Discord, you have to be a member of my locals, which is $5 a month to support. The link is at the top of the. Once you join for $5 a month,
grifter.
Look.
By the way, Nick, good job grifting off Nick's drama.
Legitimately, I'm because people were in Nick's locals like no one's talking about this. No one's talking about this. And so
everyone's talking about this.
Now everyone is after I decided
just tweeted. Jeremy put out a video.
But no one was streaming about it. I think people were waiting so much. So I don't know. Here's the thing. I'll say it here. I know Nick told Fair and Balanced that he didn't want to come up to not risk her channel. I don't care if Nick risked my channel. I would rather him come up and fucking vent and bitch. I don't care. My channel was, while I love my channel, it's not that important to me. My channel doesn't feed my family like his does. Like, I would risk the strike because, like I said earlier, So I take 1 to 2 week breaks streaming sometimes anyway in general. So, but legitimately tonight, I would rather, if you want to just follow me on locals just to see who I am, but if you really want in my Discord, that's how you get in there because it is a paid Discord. But please tonight, Nick's the one that's really fucking, you know, that's truly so. I don't want to say suffering. I'm sure he's a smart man financially. You know him a little bit better than I think, Tim, because you talked to him a bit more maybe. But I'm sure he's got money set aside. He plans things. Take care of his family. He's got Grift me hard. Duquesne says for 9.99, Grift me harder, Daddy. Also, hi Tim. God damn it.
Duquesne.
There you go.
You know,
There's my money for the day.
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, he's the cheater. It's just like Tim. So here's my deal is first, I want it to be known that this is bullshit and should not happen. That just because you disagree with someone, and as someone who has been doxxed and has had to deal with the fallout of that, thankfully my dox was limited in scope, and some of the people who fucked around found out within 24 hours. Thank you, Spectre. And not that I didn't condone that, but that's what happened. And so there was consequences, and so it kind of mitigated the fallout. It didn't mean it didn't happen. Didn't mean I didn't lose my fucking job over it, which, while I'm not so much pissed off about anymore, I'm now, I had let go of it about a couple months ago, and was like, I'm cool with it. And then like within a week of that stream, legit get a fucking phone call from a former client of mine telling me all the horrible shit that happened to them and their kid after they lost their counseling with me. And all I did was fucking, like, for an hour or two, just fucking seethe, like, you fucking bitches. You played a part in ruining this person's life. Because I would still have been in counseling I would probably still be counseling that family. Like, I was pissed after that.
It says someone posted in Nick's Discord, like, the moment he realized he got yeeted, you could actually genuinely see the pain in his eyes. Like, there was a moment of shock, and I could, like, I've had those moments before. Not, I haven't lost a 470,000 subscriber channel.
Yeah, I don't have
I've had
that.
moments like that where you're reading something on your phone and you're like, oh shit. Like,
I
your
mean,
heart flutters a little bit. You get like a lump in your throat and your stomach's all queasy.
I mean,
I could tell he was going through that.
I mean, when I lost, like, my boss texted me on my stream that I was doing last year and said, what the fuck is all this shit about? Basically. And I mean, I could probably pull the text message up. It's still on my phone. And was like, what is this? What do you, what's all this about? Or called me or whatever. And, because people were calling and making up shit and lying.
Well, would I be able to show Nick?
I guess the picture that, like, the moment Nick realized he was too, I was worried.
I've got a link. Someone put it up on a separate YouTube video. So
yeah, if you want to do, like,
we can find it.
If you want to either show it and present it on your screen or send me the link in private chat, I'll pull it up.
I'll send you the link, just so I'm not showing my desktop.
That's why I know there's
I'm in the middle of a project right now. It's not like I'm going to.
Peffles is trending now. Hopefully his Nick stuff trends over that. I mean, this is...
Fucking Nick's Discord is a very special place to be.
Yes, it is.
Not good, not bad, just special. Where is it? That will take me a bit to find. So if you want to talk about something else.
Yeah.
No, the only reason I don't want to show my desktop right now is I'm working on my next video for my channel.
No, that's fine. Also, yeah, check out Tim's channel too when you guys get a chance.
Oh, also check out MGTOWN. Between Drexel and Nick, that's the only one that's still on YouTube. Ken, how the hell did that happen? That Drexel's still on YouTube and Nick is not.
Well, Nick has many more followers than Drexel. No offense.
Yeah, I mean, you might be tempted to say, like, a bigger channel like Nick's is harder to remove, but honestly, because it takes more away, they probably get personal satisfaction.
Here's the thing: is it is a better business decision for YouTube to keep Nick because they get 30% of all the super chats he gets. He's made 1.1 million in super chats minus the 30%.
Here you go. Put it in the private chat.
Private chat. Okay. Yeah, I guess let me pull this up real quick.
It is I
Like,
think it's like a 4-minute video because he just kind of goes through the motion. You can kind of see it. Like, I
yeah,
don't know if
so,
you agree with me or not that you can see the hurt in his
oh yeah, I went back and watched the
eyes.
Rumble part real quick because I kind of saw, because I saw the stream go down. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I searched his channel on YouTube and it was just gone. And the moment I did that, I knew it wasn't, I was like, bullshit. It was bullshit. But yeah, let me full screen this on my other monitor and put it up on present. But seriously, Nick has done more, I think, for a lot of people than a lot of people realize. He's talked to people, emailed people, texted people, chatted with people, helped people through crises. I mean, shit. He gave me. I mean, you guys gave. I mean, MGTOW, you and Drexel gave me a few $100 during my job loss. Nick dropped $500 or something. Like that was a huge deal. That helped me through one of the most upsetting moments of my life. And he didn't have to do that. Like, he didn't have to. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'll share your GoFundMe, but I don't have to drop $100. Like maybe $100, but like $500 is a lot of fucking money. At least for me, you know.
You know what?
For me, $500 is a lot of fucking money.
It is for
So,
him too.
We'll do it this way.
From the very start, it's 3 minutes, but the very start is when he hasn't noticed yet.
Yeah, I think the chat blew up, but yeah, for those who are joining, I'm very pro Nick. I've always supported Nick. I will support Nick until the day I'm muted, and then some. Like, Nick does not deserve this because Nick has a family who is a good father. I have never once seen him do anything ever that would be like, and as someone who deals with families and who deals with parents who are not always the best parents, I have never seen him or Lady Rackets do anything to ever question their parenting ability, ever. And that's fucking hard. As someone who sees parents do bad things and make bad decisions all the time, who maybe not necessarily on purpose, but just because they don't maybe know how to do it the right way, he's done great with parenting. He has done amazing work to help people. He's helped do, the GoFundMe's he does support on his shit. He does make his impact, and I don't think it gets seen anywhere as much as people would. Just reading comments, reading live chats, seeing super chats, the impact. I probably could, if I thought about it, pick out at least a dozen examples of where he's legitimately been responsible for someone not offing themselves because he's given them the motivation to continue on and to not just end it. Like, that's a bigger impact than maybe I've had in my life because he's got a bigger platform than I do. He's got bigger reach than I do. I get to deal with, a few dozen clients, because I'm limited in time. When you have 400,000 subscribers, thousands of people interacting with you in a few hour time span, hundreds chatting or super chatting, whatever that is, being able to get those messages out, it's a lot more than I could do. Maybe my therapies, the therapy I do is more intensive and much more focused, but a message from someone who's sincere like Nick is the kind of thing that will turn someone from, I'm going to jump off the ledge today to maybe I can turn things around. I've seen him do that to people. Like,
I'm not going to say who, but we just got a message from someone who says, without Nick, Drexel, and the Dick Show, I'd be a fucking drunk in the streets of LA.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much you guys have helped.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Drex has just jumped online on his phone. He said he's going to have Nick on. Yeah, we'll 100% have Nick on our show, and
yeah,
I don't care the consequences either.
Nick doesn't want. I think from what Fair and Balanced is saying on her show, or I was hearing through secondhand, is that he doesn't want to risk someone else's channel. I don't care.
Yeah, but Drex is a little.
I don't care. I do not care. But if Nick, like, seriously though, Nick, if you're listening or if someone clips this or whatever, and I'm going to make sure Nick gets a text message. I do not care if you wake me up at 3 a.m. to talk because of this. Bullshit. It's bullshit, buddy.
Oh, yeah,
you get unlimited therapies for the next. You get unlimited therapies for the next however many days or weeks you need. Like, call it therapy, call it not therapy. I don't care right now. If you need someone to talk to, you can call me and wake me up. My wife knows. I've put the expectation out there. This is obviously a traumatic thing. she's aware of what's happened, and she finds it bullshit because, believe it or not, she's anti-Keffels as well. So
I believe, maybe Nick should book a counseling session with Mrs. Ken because honestly, her voice is very beautiful.
Why are you fucking trying to get all up on my wife's shit again?
Hi, Mrs.
You're
Ken.
creeping her the fuck out. She's not here right now, but you're creeping her the fuck out. She's watching. Real quick before I play the video, and thank you guys for the super chats. I'm not expecting any of those today. I normally would try to grift. Today, I'm about supporting someone who I would call a Ken or call a friend. Oh my god, I was trying to reach chat at the same time. Someone who I would call, if I had an issue, I could call him and he would probably pick up the phone or would set aside time to talk to me because he's that kind of person. And, he's given me a platform. It's how I've got my channel to almost 2,000 subscribers. I was at 400 before I was doxxed. I tripled it because of my dox. And it's kind of slowly grown since then. So, but Sedina says, for $20, thanks for supporting Nick. In honor of Nick, I will support your grift, LOL. Thank you for supporting the grift. But let's hit this. Yeah, grift harder. I don't want to because I honestly feel horrible for Nick right now. I'm only on here because people were like, no one's talking about it, no one's streaming about it, and I'm here not to. One, I don't want people to fed post and do stupid shit that's going to make it harder for Nick to get his channel back. Archive shit, save the data, do things the right way. Do it the right way, even if it's the hard thing to do, because that's how you walk out of it a better person at the end of the day. Because if you stoop down, you go to the same tactics, that's the kind of shit that would negatively impact Nick versus positively impact Nick. If you can go to Twitter, tag Team YouTube and go, hey, why did you get rid of someone who's doing good and helping, who's just, who's trying to provide insights on law versus going on Twitter and going in locals chats and live chats and going, oh, fucking kill this person and blah, blah, blah. We need to flag their shut the fuck up. Don't be retarded. Like, I'll pull up my DSM and diagnose you right here, right now if you keep doing that shit. Like, don't care. Like,
you slap me with that DSM.
I will put that DSM imprint on the fucking middle of your fucking forehead. Like,
by the way, someone wants us to do an honorary unbreaded for Nick. You know what? I'm gonna pour a shot. Christ. I'm going to. Don't you still owe us like 12 shots?
Yes, I do. And I was hoping to stream today. I'm actually in the middle of a bit of a dental emergency. And unfortunately, the VA doesn't cover dental urgent care or emergent care. So I'm stuck with a broken tooth until tomorrow morning. You
can use you can use ejaculate as toothpaste.
It's literally one of my front teeth is fucking fractured about halfway down. It's hanging on by a thread.
Oh, it must have been a huge shock that you had.
Yeah, it was pretty big. Moopy says, do a toast like Nick does. I'm not as eloquent as Nick.
Okay, I'll do one. I'm not turning my camera on, but I'll do one.
I'm not doing that. I'll try. I've got my can of Mountain Dew and my Pepsi from KFC from earlier.
I've got, let's see. I've got a Glenlivet Founders Reserve that I'm going to pour in honor of him.
That's fake alcohol, but you pour that, I'll do the toast. So, in honor of Nick tonight, I will do my best to the toast. We'll see how well I do. I guess give me a grade or a percent scale grade after this is done. To Nick, who has been an influence on my YouTube career, YouTube content, who has provided not only financial support, which has been helpful, but the emotional support and the friendship that has allowed me to carry on from probably one of the most difficult times of my life and a time where I struggled very much to get back on my feet and help me recognize that I am able to go from nothing to something, even with a hardship like that. And it's not the first time I've had, my feet kind of taken out from underneath of me. But
yeah, I'm sure you've had your heels behind your head quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Usually 3 times a day, depending on the schedule. But he is a person who does not deserve this kind of treatment and is bullshit because people are upset because they attacked him. All he did was point out, hey, these are the people who filed a legal document with the state that's public record that this is their names. They didn't even put their addresses up on YouTube, just their
Which
names.
is dumb.
Just dumb. Like, how do you not expect that to happen? Like, it's just dumb, right? How do you not expect to follow up from that? He's going to get your information. Like, no different than the person who emailed my boss thought they didn't put their name in there, but I still found the email anyway, which was how I got a hold of that email. Was a great story. But to Nick, who has done countless things for people and will never take the credit for it. And I've tried to tell him this in private. You know, you've done more to help people than you will ever admit to. And he doesn't believe it to a certain degree. I think he recognizes the influence, but I think he's too humble to accept it. Because he does, you know.
To the guy who put me on YouTube.
Same.
In the 2020 presidential election. Can't look at it now YouTube? Because, it's
gone.
It's gone.
I mean,
it was the beautiful video name too. It was Vote Count 2 Election Boogaloo.
That was a great stream. That was an interesting stream.
So, I mean, cheers to Nick for giving me my start in broadcast, which of course led me to talking with Drexel, and then me and Drexel start MGTOWN together. Like, neither of us would be here without him. Well, actually, all three of us, right? Me, Drexel.
I think all three of us would not be here without it. Like,
yeah. So to Nick.
They Jospy, I am only streaming right now on YouTube. I was streaming on Odyssey for a bit. I'm going to start doing that again, especially after this. But right now, I cannot stream on Rumble because I do not have at least 100 subscribers on Rumble. When I get 100 subscribers on Rumble, rumble.com/c/Ken's Counseling Couch, then I can stream on Rumble too. So if people want me to stream on Rumble, I would need at least 80% of this viewing audience to go subscribe to me on Rumble. There you go. So if you want me to stream on Rumble, I will do it, but I need people to, because I'm not paying to stream on Rumble at this point. My audience is not that big yet. This is probably the biggest my audience has been since I was fucking doxxed and fired.
A lot of people have asked me to put Drexel on Rumble. I just haven't seen the benefit.
I mean, now there's
splitting the audience like even further. Like the only reason we're on Odyssey is because we pre-record everything, so I just upload it.
Well, Rumble automatically backs up all my streams. Odyssey will only back up videos up to 2 hours in length, and since I tend to stream for more than 2 hours at a time, a lot of my stuff doesn't get synced to Odyssey.
Yeah.
So most of my stuff is synced to Rumble. All my streams are on Rumble, basically. All my shorts and what?
Dragon's Treasure.
What do you say? My cash cow? No. I know. Rip.
I don't doubt it. I think Nick has made the Dragon's Treasure quite a bit of money, quite a bit of sales.
Yeah. Someone said get Ken's Rumble going. Is that my Rumble? No, is that? I don't know what Rumble that is.
Yeah.
Odyssey
will always just be the backup. Like Odyssey is not the platform we'll move with going forward. If Drexel gets yeeted off of YouTube, we're over on MGTOW.tv. If his Patreon gets yanked, we're on Give Send Bro, which is
why wouldn't you guys just do a local? I told you guys from the beginning. Just
we're on locals. We're on locals.
I know.
Like I said, I just haven't gotten over to Rumble yet. I think after today, I will certainly look a little longer at Rumble's channel for Drex. It's just getting all of his videos up, right? Like we've got a lot of videos on Drex's
Rumble
channel.
Will auto sync everything,
which is nice, but
you just gotta put your YouTube in. It does. It syncs from oldest to newest. It's what it did for mine. If you go to my Rumble, it's the same. So yeah, here's my Rumble. It's actually because I had 20 subs that I could actually get the name. When I did my last Rumble grift to try to get more subs, so I have a name now. It's not just fucking numbers. It's /C/Ken's Counseling Couch. So you can do that.
OnlyFans?
My OnlyFans, they won't verify me because my name doesn't match my name on my driver's license. I wonder why.
You know,
maybe
what,
I am really Ken Jennings.
You should be a trans game show host, and you should say that I identify as the real Ken Jennings.
I legit have, no joke, legitimately on my my Twitter, for my Ken Jennings KF Twitter account, I have a DM in my pending box from someone who I guess is actually a legitimate Ken Jennings fan, and had DM'd me and said, I can't wait to see you back on Jeopardy or something like that." And I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was a joke." And I went to his Twitter and was reading his time. Like, the dude's a Jeopardy guy. Like, he's into Jeopardy. And I thought it was the funniest fucking thing that this guy's like, "I can't wait to see you back at Jeopardy." I haven't replied because I don't want to be a dick. Because I want it to be like this cute little thing. But if I reply back, part of me wants to troll and say, "Yeah, I love being back on Jeopardy." But then it's like, no, then he'll think he's actually talking to his hero or something. And I don't want to be that person. So yeah, like I just can't like.
All right, we
See,
should probably play this video. People are getting anxious.
yeah. Well, before we do that, let's do that. Here we go. So, I hate to do this. Like,
Haley's comment. This is a clown show.
Also, Aiden, go into my Discord, grab the link, and jump up here. Grab the link and jump up here. Come up, talk, bitch, vent.
And a mockery for the victims. This needs to end. Well, it has to end with due process because that's the only way it does. Wait, what the fuck?
Okay, so he just got the weird thing on the StreamYard that's like, oh,
yeah,
you
probably
lost your YouTube connection, right? So then
The
he's
hell?
like, well, what the hell happened? So he opens his YouTube, and then it shows you know, your channel has been terminated. And then you'll see him go to his phone. Yeah, see, now he's got his phone in his hand, right?
Yeah, he's probably looking it up.
I think he's checking his email or possibly his messages. Aiden, in Ken's Discord.
In my Discord.
In his general chat.
It's in my general chat.
Look at that. Look at his eyes. He just realized right there. You want to back that up like maybe 5 seconds?
Yeah.
When he looks up from his phone. Watch his eyes.
Hold on. Am I on HD? Okay. Sometimes my YouTube doesn't do that.
Right now, this is the moment he realized.
Yeah. Pause game's on point, unfortunately.
Look at how sad
it's tough, man. That's tough. Dude has like legit, Nick, you have a huge platform, and it's more than just law. And I could not imagine. Hey, Aiden's here. Hold on. Welcome, Aiden. I could not imagine losing all. Like, I know Aiden has a huge fucking following too. She has a huge channel. I could not imagine putting all that work into it and losing it.
I am so angry I couldn't sleep.
Really? Wonder why. Like, I'm like legit. Like, one,
hey,
I was
back me up on this one. Can you see the pain, the hurt in his eyes?
Also, I can't. I'm always get confused by Streamlabs of how to give myself an avatar or whatever. But yeah, I was finishing up my own stream when this happened, and I was just like, you know what? Just. By the way, I don't think this will last. I think what I noticed is my husband.
It's risky.
He said, "What time is it in California?" And I went, "Oh gee, I don't know, like 2 in the afternoon." And I was like, "Oh wait, when it happened, it was like literally 5 in the afternoon on the dot," which gives me the idea that somebody at YouTube pressed a button. Do you know what I mean? And went,
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just deal with this later. We'll deal with it tomorrow, right?
I mean, it doesn't make sense to ban someone who makes them a lot of money.
It'll be fixed by tomorrow. That is my thought process. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think it's a dumb business decision, personally. Like,
wait a minute, I can't hear shit. What the fuck?
Boomer Aiden. Like, Aiden's a boomer.
But yeah, keep so keep playing the video to see his
let's continue here.
That's that he realized.
Yeah, like you could just see.
I almost think like he's trying to hold it back tears.
I mean, I would struggle, to be honest. I guess Aiden's device is fucking up.
Yep, I just got yeeted from YouTube in real time to everybody else. Not sure what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, Sharon, I read his post a little bit ago for those who are just joining. Aiden is maybe back. Welcome back.
Oh God, I
Can
can't
you hear us,
you guys. I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
Oh,
Biden, what's
shit.
up, buddy?
What is happening?
Wow.
Hang on.
I just honestly, I mean,
Why can't I hear anything?
That's something.
is it too low for people to hear?
That laugh, Ken, have you heard a more
That's something.
nervous
I don't have
laugh in
any
your life?
information as to why.
I mean, I've heard him laugh like that before.
So
Yeah, but that was a
there we go.
really nervous laugh. That was the.
We'll be appealing this.
Well, I mean, so
time.
to
there
be
we
fair,
go. Okay.
I was in his late as fuck locals chat last night, which went for fucking ever. But he was talking about, like if he legitimately last night was talking or early this morning was talking about if he loses his YouTube, like his locals is kind of like the hold through that, he's got a couple thousand local supporters. I mean, that's good. It's like 10 grand a month. Like the bills will get paid. Like I'm pretty sure the house is paid off. I'm pretty sure
it's still ridiculous though. This whole thing is absolutely it's sickening.
Stupid.
What I
fucking sickening
on Twitter, which Sophia Norwitz completely agreed with me on, is
I'm
that
pull this back real quick while I fix something.
Yeah, sorry. Also, I had weird problems.
You're good. I'm just trying to fix something.
Well, actually, I'm gonna check out for just a second. I'll be right back in.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
You were saying something?
The tweet that I made about it was that I'll read it directly here. I said Freckles et al. Are doing more to make normal people transphobic than any religious conservative ever could.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely fucking agree with that.
Yeah.
Like
that's what.
So here's I've told, for those of you who are new to the stream, surprise, legitimately have diagnosed gender dysphoria. I've shown the medical documents on stream.
Yes.
Obviously not transitioned or whatever at this point, but I've dealt with the issue. I know what it's like. I've been kicked out of fucking trans support groups legitimately because I said things that aren't really that controversial, but apparently they fucking
because
are.
you don't want to transition, for example.
Well, no, it's not necessarily that. It's more about other things. Like for example, and this is one of the things that stands out the most for me, is one of the support groups I was in, this female to male trans was talking about how they had surgery and had gone for the full 9 yards, bottom surgery and everything. And they were in like a support group, and this new person was talking about being trans and having the surgery, and they just were like something was off about him, and they called him out. They said, "What about your scar?" And the person was like, "What do you mean my scar? The scar on your arm? What scar on my arm? Where they do the skin graft to create the neopenis? Where's your scar on your arm?" And they didn't have one. They're like, "Oh, they came up with some weird ass excuse," and they called the person out for basically lying about what level transition they went through and all this other shit. This person ends up getting kicked out of the group eventually for some reason. And I think this is like an in-person support group, not like an online thing, like a legit, true support group. This person gets kicked out because they called someone out for fucking lying about it. Like, it makes no fucking sense.
What do you think of the new avatar?
Oh, it looks nice.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Tim, by the way. I don't think we've met.
Here, let me
Nice
do
to
this.
meet you.
Let me pull this up to see if we can. How do I do you by yourself up top?
Are you a lawyer as well?
Wow.
Solo layout.
Ken.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that
Look at
sexy
that.
Tim. Yeah, baby.
Ken, wow. Someone please clip that. How do I do you by yourself?
Yeah. How do I do you on top? Yeah, free the nose. Like,
are you a lawyer, Tim? Sorry,
I'm in law school.
Working
I
on
just
it.
started law school.
Awesome. Very cool. So,
by the way, you might recognize my voice. It's producer Tim from Drex's show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, okay. Yeah, I do. All right. Yeah, it's been a minute then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you back in on MGTOWN sometime.
I saw and
yeah, I need to come back.
I was watching Drex's stream the other day, and I'd super chatted him something, and I went into I was like, I feel like I haven't been on Drex's show in a while, and I went to my freaking emails, and I was like, I saw an email probably from you from like March to ask me back on. I was like, oh great, I missed that because I'm terrible at email management. I'm sure it was from you actually, probably now, but
I just assumed we pissed you off, and you were like, "Fuck it,
no,
Drex sucks, get out of here."
No.
I'm
Drex
joking.
is...
I'm joking. I'm trolling you, Aiden. I know people get busy.
Awful at no, it's not even that. I'm just terrible at emails. I'm sure all my sponsors fucking hate me because, well, I know they do. Like, I was supposed to have a call with a sponsor yesterday, and I accidentally scheduled it for 2:00 in the morning because I don't understand time zones and not in my time and on their time. And I was like, oh God, why did I, like, no one's in the office. How did I even do that? I think because I thought it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I screwed it up and put it at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So
But
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
so
great.
I
I'm
just
great
started
at
the
business stuff.
oh sorry to step all over you, but
Oh,
no,
no,
I
no,
you
did
guys are
just
good.
start law school this year. I do plan on being a lawyer, but I'm not one yet. So I'm actually I started a second channel, so separate from Drex. I just doing something on my own
Mhm.
called Lost in Law, and that's I take cases that are really interesting that I learn about in school, and I talk about them. So
All you law folk are so good at coming up with like good puns for the names.
I mean, does my channel count as a good pun or no?
No,
Or is it
Ken,
pretty
your channel
boring?
counts. Your channel is like what happens when I step in something sticky and I don't know what it is. That
Oh, thank
describes
you.
your channel.
I tried spelling it with K's instead of C's, but for some reason the acronym just wasn't approved by
Yeah.
YouTube. I don't
Yeah, for some
understand
reason.
why. It doesn't
What's
make
wrong with
sense
the-
to me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's so whatever.
It's
But,
cute, like
since
just Ken's
Outpost,
counseling couch, 3Ks. Oh, wait a minute.
there's the casting
Ken's
couch is
canceled couch.
if my onlyfans.com/Ken's casting couch would ever be fucking verified, I would be posting nothing but big black couches over there. But they won't fucking verify me, or I would be posting them. I would be posting stock art of BBC just for fun.
Sarah
So-
Mike says
If
Tim
they
has
black
yet to have
couches.
his soul removed. It's a work in progress. No, that actually is a real joke.
Wait, you
Um,
what?
It's a little
Your
bit more
soul? Oh, you
Yeah.
don't have a soul.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you-
It's
you're going into the legal profession. You've already traded that.
No. That's
Oh.
actually the joke. Is all the 1Ls, the first year law students, they still have hopes and dreams, and they're happy, and they go to class, they read the
You-
cases, and then by second year, they have stolen all of that.
Only
from you.
couches.
It's
So-
bizarre. That's not the way that doc
Yeah.
school works
Oh,
at
man.
all. It's just funny that how finishing your education works in different
I mean,
fields.
getting my
It does.
master's degree was fucking difficult. I mean, I still don't know how I pull it off. Like legitimately,
Yeah, I don't know.
I
either.
finished my
Yeah.
one final exam in my car on my laptop from the Wi-Fi from the school. No, legitimately,
I
this
wrote
was
my
an exam
midterm in
where
a hotel.
if I didn't get a certain score in this exam, my entire 2 years was wasted because I had gotten 2 C's in a previous semester. And if you got more than 2 C's, you were out of the
Yeah, you're
program.
out. Yeah.
And my
yeah,
teacher
laws
had
got
given
that
me
too.
like a 60% on my one paper. This is like my meds and social work practice. So like my pharmacology class, basically.
So what you
and
say is
I
you're a
wrote
shitty
a-
therapist.
Really, shut up.
No.
I got a 3.48 GPA in my grad school, and I got a 3.5 GPA in my undergrad. So
Hey,
fuck you.
372, get on my level, bitch.
Get him out of it, bitch. But
Also, I got an
Cyber-
A+ in philosophy.
I never.
but that
bothered to
was my
block my
legit
GPA.
graduate legit graduate education relied on me to not. I had to get like a 90 something on this fucking test to not fail
Oh,
grad
damn,
school.
that's rough.
It was, dude. I like took every second of time going back through the test, and I changed answers a bunch of times, and I passed. Obviously, my God, it was the most nerve-wracking thing ever. Because the teacher gave me like the worst, like a fucking 60 on my paper. I was in the
Someone,
process of filing an appeal before I passed that test. Like, it was
Swallow
so
Shade had asked
stupid.
me what area of law, what did they say? What area of law I want to cover? Where is it? Oh yeah, what law will you be mainly covering? Well, right now in first year, you basically take the 5 facets of law in concert with one another. So you do property, torts, contracts, criminal, and constitutional law. And remember, I'm a Canadian law student, so we covered a Charter of Rights and Freedoms, not the U.S. Bill of Rights.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, I have my best friend in college went to Chicago law school, or University of Chicago Law School, which is like I think like one of the best in the country. And now he is my personal lawyer. I mean, like he
cool.
doesn't like me to bother him honestly too much, but yeah, I remember when he was going through school and he walked me through some of the stuff, like what he was doing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Not what I was doing. My graduate
Yeah.
school experiences. Graduate. I think it's funny. All three of us have severely different. Second, is it tertiary? Is it considered tertiary education? Secondary, upper secondary education experiences and
post second.
post secondary. Yeah.
I guess that's what it's called. I don't. It's a thing. I went to
The
school.
The thing
but-
after undergrad. The thing you do after
po-
undergrad.
I call it
Yeah, so graduate school.
Graduate
Yeah.
school.
Grad school plus.
Now it's funny because law school is considered undergraduate level because you need minimum requirement is 2
Really?
years of undergrad. You don't technically need a degree. Whereas
always-
to do masters, you actually have to finish your undergrad.
Yes.
Hold
I was
on
always-
real quick.
Oh, okay.
Real quick. First, Cyber Task 5 says, it would seem the broken drivetrain differentials and gearboxes want a real war. Light the beacons. It's time to ride. And then also, real quick, I'll Post Nerd said, Ken's counseling couch, did it take less time for you to get your bastards than it did for you to finish this video? Fuck you, I'll Post Nerd. But I'm
Let's
going to leave
go.
that up because that was funny.
I mean, the video is pretty much
know
over,
what the
right?
hell
He's
is
just going to
going
talk
on.
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
he just,
With
you
that,
could just kind of see, like, the stress.
He just
start
kind of
to, like-
reacts. Like now he's
I-
got his kind of poker face back
but
on, right?
well, I'm gonna
You
have
saw
to
the
end the
hurt.
stream,
Dude, I
'cause
would've
one,
cried.
I don't have access to the super chats right now, so we'll see what
Yeah, he lost
what
access to the
happens.
super chats
I'll be
too. That's
continuing
bullshit.
streaming
Well, I
on
think he has a
Rumble, of
spreadsheet,
course.
but that's still hard to read
um,
when
Oh,
you
no,
get
you
that
have
many
to-
super
I
chats.
don't know what happens when YouTube deletes
Don't
your
know.
fucking channel
we'll
while
have
you're in
to
the middle
we'll
of
have to figure
streaming.
that out. So
No. He
Like-
he lost it.
catch you guys
Because,
later.
The whole channel's gone.
Like I've seen his new setup.
Your channel's
The
gone.
clown
Yeah,
show
poor guy.
fucking
Look at him.
continues.
It's just
No,
not
every,
okay.
every single fucking time. And
This is the
just
farthest
so
from okay
everybody
it could
knows,
ever be.
I have no information. They have given me. No, I did not get a strike.
They just deleted
It just
the channel.
says your channel has been removed.
Well,
So-
I think
Because
you
remember,
get the
he-
strike and
We'll
it's
see what
removed as
happens.
part of that process, so you don't get to
I'm
see
not
what the
aware
actual
of any recent
the strike was
violation.
He
because the
wasn't
channel
sit-
was removed.
But he wasn't sitting on 2 strikes.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had gotten 2
Well,
strikes
feeling
within
the
like
second
a
strike,
month.
But he didn't.
I
didn't get
thought
it
one
cleared.
had resolved.
No, one was going to fall off in the next couple
Ah.
weeks, I think.
because that's
Okay.
just
So
right
yeah,
I didn't think
Welcome
you
to
could
living under the
stream
thumb.
if you
of someone else.
had 2 strikes
if you
on your
get so
channel.
if you get one if you get a community if you get one
We'll
your
catch
first
you
community
later,
guideline. So
guys.
so the wait hold on. They're not calling for nuclear strikes. That's a bit too far at this point. We'll give that a little bit too far. We're not bedposting. We're not glowing yet. But the way the system works, that I've from my dealing with it, because I've gotten one warning. I don't think I've actually gotten a true community strike, like the
I
first
got a
strike.
strike.
Drex has gotten
well, I got a
Somehow.
strike. I got a strike 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago over the couple stuff, of course, because what else?
'Cause
On
you're
my second,
transphobic.
well, here's the really curious part, right? Is that I was talking about the stuff with Keffels. Actually, I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago. Excuse me, I'm going to call them Feckles. I don't want to use their name. Fecals. I was talking about the stuff with Fecals
See, that's
uh,
even more transphobic.
at 3 weeks ago, and I think about that on my second channel, on my podcast channel, which is what I use for live streaming, and then within 8 hours of the stream, where I just went over the things that were happening back then, again like 3 weeks ago, I got a community guideline strike for hate speech on my main channel for a 5-year-old video. And here's the really ironic part. The name of the video was called PewDiePie is a Nazi and So Are You. And it was about how people will use internet mobs to accuse people of political extremism to basically get them canceled.
Ironic.
So very ironic, very ironic. And again, a 5-year-old video, one of my earliest videos I've ever made. Deleted for hate speech from 1 week. And so what happened was I already had a warning on my channel because I think just like YouTube at this point, like if you're like anywhere near vaguely conservative, they just give you a warning when you start out, essentially. Like you already
it's
start out
pretty dumb.
with the free warning's already gone for you. And so it's interesting because I didn't get a strike on the channel where I talked about fecals. I got the strike on my main channel. Because, of course, there was a mass flagging campaign. Because that's what this person and their fans do. They see their name and they go, oh, Aiden Paladin runs this channel, Broken Crown. So let's go mass flag every single video on her channel. And that's what they did. Now, when I had that strike, which lasted a week, because it was my first strike, and it falls off, I think, in December, was that I couldn't for the week I couldn't post anything to YouTube, and I couldn't even post a community post to explain what was happening, which is really a fucked up thing when you think about it. Like you should at least be able to make a community post to be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do anything because I'm banned. And the thing about that too that's bizarre, this is only 2 weeks ago, yeah, is that I just had a video that did really, really well.
So I have
And
some.
I make documentaries that take forever to work on. So yeah, sorry, go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So there's a little bit of a shit post, but I have some breaking insight into what's going on with the current response to the way this is going down. Ready? This is just breaking live video footage.
Let's play global thermonuclear war.
This is breaking information. We're watching it live.
Alright.
We're watching Nick's response to YouTube and how he's going to deal with. This is how he's going to deal with it.
There's Nick.
This is how we're going to deal with it.
Nose looking a little bit
I'll be the
smaller than
Russians.
usual.
Well, he's a commie now, so but he's he's a commie. So, but no, I thought that would be funny. But no, but I love that movie. War Games is a fucking great
War
movie. I
Games
can
is
watch
fun.
this shit. I
Fun
fucking
movie.
love that movie.
Yeah.
But before I should pull that back a little bit before I get a fucking copyright strike, because I got my birthday stream got copyright struck for fucking the Celine Dion Baby Shark thing.
It's
And it got
deserve that.
worldwide.
You totally deserve that.
Fuck you. Celine Dion singing Baby Shark was worth this fucking hassle
It's-
of filing the appeal.
YouTube is so incredibly aggressive, particularly towards smaller channels. This is absolutely true. Like once, look, I still get copyright claimed for stupid shit all the time on my main channel. But if I just go like, no, that's fake now, they go, okay, sorry, and then piss off. Whereas on my podcast channel, which only has like 4,000 subs or 5,000 subs or whatever it is, no, they don't. They'll just worldwide copyrights claimed.
Yeah, it's
It
fucking
with
bullshit.
YouTube, it absolutely is about how much clout and how many subs you have, which is what makes this Rekieta thing so particularly bizarre. Because Rekieta is within, as far as I understand, or I was led to understand, the top 5 earners in terms of super chats in the entire site.
He's one of the top, yeah.
Oh, no, he's like top 20. Like the top
20,
1
okay.
through 12 are all VTubers. And then there's
okay.
like Fresh and
VTubers,
Fit
sorry.
and Tim Pool.
Yeah,
And,
he's one of the he's one of the top non
20.
VTubers.
Okay, so
basically.
top non-VTubers. Yeah, I thought he was like top 5. Okay, so he's top 20 though, which is still, we're talking about YouTube again takes 30% of all super chats. So Rekieta, who's bringing in, particularly when he's covering these cases as he was tonight, massive amounts of money for YouTube. And YouTube has just shown that they do not give a shit about providing value to their shareholders comparative to being woke and capitulating to a mob of people.
fucking Duquesne, my shark will go on. That's funny. No, Aiden, we're under, the three of us here should be under no illusion that YouTube, Google, and Alphabet have ever cared about profits. They're one of the too big to fail companies. Do you think that if YouTube said, holy shit, we're bankrupt, like we're going to kill the internet tomorrow, that Congress wouldn't get its shit together and pass a bailout package?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I thought YouTube was traded separately, but now it's traded under Google, which means it's Alphabet.
Well, Alphabet, yeah.
So
and YouTube has lost money every year it's been in existence, right?
But the reach they have is like
never
worth
was
it.
money.
It's worth more.
The object. Alphabet, you got to understand that information is what makes you money. So when they collect all that data on who's viewing what and more importantly, and I'm sure you'd have some insight into this too, like more importantly, it's what people view in concert with other videos, right? So you're always looking for that what is it, double variable, right? Someone clicks on video A, so then can I predict what video B is the next one they'll click on?
And that's of course what they want to be able to figure out. And I would say actually the funny thing about that is that all of the web services used to be far better at this than they are now for all of the money that they've dumped into it. I remember that around like 2010, Netflix had a service that was available, I think, only for if you were accessing Netflix via Xbox 360, right? Like that's how long ago this was. And it was called Jack. And what it was is you'd be like, Jack, I don't know what kind of movie or TV show I want to watch right now. And it played a little game with you. And it'd be like, it'd give you like 2 options, like horror, and it was just like the same as like the "You Don't Know Jack" voice. It was the same voice.
I love that voice.
Scary, funny, and you just pick one, or it'd be like, and it would give you a bunch of options and things like that, and then it would pick a movie for you, and it ended up actually picking some of my favorite horror movies that not super obscure, but like less mainstream horror movies, just from me answering simple questions. You know what? That works way better. It worked better 12 years ago than predictive algorithms trying to figure out what I like based on what I listen to. I've been listening to for the entire day the opening just instrumental part of Tame Impala's "The Less I Know the Better" on a perfect instrumental loop. That's not going to tell you anything about me. That's just because I'm being autistic. Like, it's not going to help you out at all.
Also,
Hello.
C. Warren and a couple other people were mentioning the post that Nick put up. Yes, I've read it. I know people are filtering in and out, so it has been read. I have texted Nick personally. I'm sure he's really busy. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe he did respond. Let me see if I can actually say anything.
We just got breaking news from Dick Masterson, who has reacted to the news.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that'll be interesting.
He says, quote, "Brutal, just horrible," end quote.
Well, this is setting a very, very bad precedent. And again, like I said, I found it very curious that when I looked at the timeline, it happened at like just exactly 5 p.m. in California, which to me says that they went, we'll just leave the office, out of sight, out of mind, overnight. We'll come back tomorrow and deal with the fallout. Perhaps.
See, we now live in a world where the public forum, the town square, is dead. We live in a world where our freedom of speech, which is one of the cornerstones of our nation, our God-given rights, can be curtailed by a little geek in a room thousands of miles away with a flip of a button. YouTube has no problem making millions. They have no problem becoming the biggest international media company ever on the backs of these creators who make them millions of dollars a day, and they have no problem with just a snap of the finger destroying their lives, destroying their incomes.
Yeah, and everyone should be aware of that. They do not care about
But
you.
it's a private
Hello,
business,
Alpha
guys.
listeners,
It's a
by the
private
way.
corporation.
No, it is.
It's a private
They're
corporation.
a private business acting like the town square. Ken,
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
No,
That's
no,
been in front of the
that's the
Supreme Court
problem.
for
Section
25
22
years.
will
Good luck.
It's Section 230 stuff.
Section
It's-
230.
it's-
It needs to be, and they've been trying to repeal it. They really got serious about it the past 5 or 6 years, but it's just not gaining any traction.
We'll have to see. Again, what I would say is that more than anything, I think that in a very bizarre way, this banning of Rekieta, who had, again, 600, maybe 700,000 subs. I don't know.
I think it was what, 500?
At least
500.
Sometimes
It's like 5
600.
something.
Even if it was only like 500 to 600,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. I thought it was more than that, but still, we'll hopefully I'll be back. Pray to God, obviously, that it'll be back soon. When they come back in the morning, they're like, "Oh, whoopsie," which is what they'll most likely do.
See,
Is that
I'm hesitant on that myself.
I'm also hesitant. The only reason why I say that is, as I said before, the fact that they banned him right as their office is closed. Like on the dot, like right at 5 p.m. Right when they all
470. Sharon, 470 was his subscriber count.
No, lower than I
470.
thought.
I thought it had like 700K. Well, shows what I know.
Still,
But-
it's not. It wasn't really the numbers of subscribers. It was
It
the
was the
amount of
interaction.
super chats that he was getting. And
The interaction was enormous.
there
his
are people
interaction
much
numbers
bigger
are
than him
through
who
the
would
roof,
make
right.
no
So
way
anyone
near as
who
much.
runs a channel knows that YouTube analytics, one of the most important measures on your channel is the interaction.
Yeah.
The what is it called? Fuck, there's a name for it, and I forget at the moment. But it's the how many of your subscribers take actions on your videos, such as like, comment, right? When people say like, comment, subscribe, they're not just repeating some mindless drivel.
Yes,
that actually means something through the algorithm.
It actually super does, which is I hate to say this, but again, like when the stream is over, guys, leave
There
a like
is
and
an
leave
update.
comments.
There's a legitimate
because-
update.
Yeah, because if you just leave a comment saying I like cheese, it doesn't matter. YouTube can't tell the
He's
difference.
gonna be on Louder with Crowder tomorrow.
Who?
I don't know,
Rekieta?
but I have an update
Nick.
that just came in 2 minutes ago. Hold on, pulling it up. Tonight's live stream, I will still be going live
Yeah,
at 11.
nice.
It said earlier today, I'm not going to live in fear or intimidation. I meant
Oh.
it. I will be going live on Rumble and Odyssey. Link will come with the post. I'm working out subjects. I have no idea if anything big happened today. Tomorrow's trial live stream is up in the air. I have an appearance on Louder with Crowder at 10 a.m. Central. Your support has been
Great.
overwhelming and awesome. This isn't over. So yeah, I guess he is going on Crowder. That's awesome.
Well,
Yes!
not that Nick necessarily needs legal representation, but half Asian lawyer Bill Richmond
Yeah,
has won
legit my
every
next thought.
single
Yes, Bill
case
Richmond.
he has done against YouTube. So YouTube, in the words of Crowder, piss off.
Yeah.
Well, Crowder kind of cucked to YouTube because he was supposed
Yeah.
to be like trying to get shit better for all the creators, and then just kind of like got himself kind of
Got
taken
it
care
better
of,
for
and then
himself, yeah.
didn't do anything else for the other creators. So he was kind
Yeah.
of a bitch in that move. I used to watch Crowder until that. Like after that, I just kind of was like, you kind of like lost me a bit,
Crowder's
buddy.
a mixed bag in terms of quality of content. Like, it's just like
He
I
was
like
he has had good
childish.
content, but he's been kind of
Yes.
like I like
I
his
like-
yogi atmosphere, like me.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a limit, and there's when you like I try to stand behind the things I do and say. Like
This is
You know.
not gay, Ken.
Right.
I'm definitely not gay.
Not gay.
Crowder does do good stuff, but like I have to admit I don't think he's funny. He can be funny. With him and Dave Landau together can be funny, but I actually don't think Crowder's a super funny guy on his own. Just my opinion. I'm not funny, so I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I'm not a comedian though, so I don't have much room to talk. But I think he's often very cringe. But still, yeah, you're right that he kind of he was like, it was the same thing. You know what? It was the same thing to a far lesser degree than what Ethan Klein did with the FUPA fund, if you recall that.
Wait a second. There's a FUPA fund.
Wait,
Oh,
there's
are
a
you not
FUPA
familiar
fund?
with
Do
this?
it.
So, back in the day, Ethan Klein was copyright struck by a guy called Matt Haas because he made fun of his videos. This is probably like 6-7 years ago, something like that. And he started a GoFundMe. And the point was not just to fund his lawsuit against Matt Haas to get his, to fight this false. Because again, he took it up to the point where you have to take it to, that like the way that YouTube works is someone copyright claims your video. You say, no, I'm using it within fair use. Then they can say, no, you didn't. It's not fair use. And then after that, you have to take it to a court of law, right?
Yeah, it's actually
So-
funny about that process because there's been several court rulings. Not a real lawyer, but there has been court rulings that says that you have to do your due diligence before you submit a DMCA claim.
Mhm.
You can't use it as a shortcut. So DMCA is supposed to be the expedited way to deal with copyright claims rather than going, filing a court, suing someone in court,
Mhm.
right? The DMCA process was designed to be quicker than court, but you can't. The court has ruled that you cannot use DMCA to shortcut the actual test. That you're supposed to perform a fair use test on the content before you submit the DMCA request. So, of course,
who does that?
it's all automated, right?
Nobody. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah,
done
it's
by
all
someone.
automated. So now, and the standard's very low. All you have to do is you made some effort. And I think what happened is in the case that was in court, the company actually admitted that they took no effort whatsoever. And so that statement got them in trouble. But the way YouTube handles DMCA is like completely and 100% against the
Isn't
way
it
it was
the way that
intended
it's
to
set
be
up, though?
implemented.
Aren't
It's
you supposed
basically
to have the
set in a way
claim and
so that-
counterclaim process?
Basically, it's all
Yeah.
set up so that YouTube doesn't have to do any of it. YouTube is taking the back seat to all of it. They want it to be held by the two parties externally. YouTube is trying to be hands off by taking the quote unquote neutral route by just basically blocking the video while the tort may or may not occur, right?
So,
Yeah.
Nick Doctor
Is
makes a
that
good
the right way to
point.
say it? First year law student. No, I'm asking.
Yeah, let the person
yeah,
lost it
copyright
to do it
violation
over.
is a tort. It's not criminal, and it's not tax.
Thank
So
you.
I mean, it's a tort.
So
I wasn't trying to be disparaging by saying
No,
first
you're-
year law student, but I'm also
no, it's a good thing to point out. But Snake Doctor says I'm a liberal progressive, and this deplatforming shit don't jive with me. If you see a message or something you don't like that is not illegal in any way, ignore it and move the fuck on. I agree, and here's my argument, and people challenge me on this: is if you truly support your place and your point of view, you should be able to give a very sound argument on the exact opposite. So if I
Yes.
support free speech, I can give a very good reason why free speech is a bad thing. And I can support that with evidence. Why you should ban free speech. I can support it with evidence because I can justify perfectly my position on free speech, or mostly perfect. I
be a good
support certain
rhetorician.
things. It's a
Dude,
very
actually,
good way to challenge your own belief system.
there might
But
be
if you're not willing to let other information in, you're only hurting yourself.
is that something actually that you probably learned like in law school, but how to be a good rhetorician in that way? You
Yeah.
have to understand the other side's argument to be able to make your own argument.
Oh no, you when you go into an exam, you have to be able to say, okay, here's my argument. Also, the other side could argue this, and here's how I would defeat it. Also, a quick note for Matthew's comment. The test is for the claimant, not YouTube. Correct.
Oh.
However, when the claimant submits DMCA, they have authorized the agent YouTube to act on their behalf. In that
Oh, yes,
very
yes, yes.
narrow, limited scope.
Also, I guess I missed this earlier. Cybertest said if Nick's suspension stands, YouTube keeps all the super berries from last month because he didn't get to the
Yes.
payout date. Prepare your
Yes.
chargebacks, but you can't really charge back a super chat. They've set it up in such a way that it's really impossible to do.
But that's interesting.
I
Now,
think.
we
No,
already
you can. No, you totally can. You can totally charge back.
You
What
can?
you have to do
Wait a
is you need a statement from Nick that he didn't receive the money that you, and then of course you would have to show YouTube's kind of
Oh.
terms of service. It says, hey, we take 30, the creator gets whatever 60
So-
something.
The reason why it probably won't be an issue is because YouTube used to pay out at the beginning of the month. Now they pay out at the end of the month.
It's like the
So-
20th is when I get my
Yeah.
check.
Yeah,
give
but
or
it's
take.
always 1 month back, Aiden. They don't
Yes,
pay
it's one-
you anything. They
Oh,
pay
I
you
know.
at the end of the month, but not for anything up to that point. It was the
Right.
previous month. So
So
anything between September 1st and 20th,
So will he- will
October, October 21st
Fifth,
to October
6th, yeah.
20th, they will not pay that out. I don't know if that's true, though. I
Right.
think they do make a final payout of any money they owe you because
They
that would be
don't.
a huge breach.
I'm not sure about that.
No,
either,
they
'cause
don't.
They've done
They
that in the
don't?
past where they've just in the past
I know,
they've
for
certainly done
example,
that. Yeah.
what's his face? That does the streams on.
Jim,
uh,
Mr. Mediker.
No,
got
not
his
Jim.
money.
They did it to
Oh, he
Jim,
did.
but they've
It
also did
happened
it
to Jim,
to
yeah.
the guy who covers ALR and Foodie Beauty. What the fuck
There's
is
so
his
many
name?
of them.
No, the one that does it with his wife. What's his fucking name?
Oh, geez, I
He
don't
does it
know.
normally on Sundays. God damn it!
I have
I
no
don't-
idea who you're
By the way,
talking
there's
I
a
know-
two
There's
lawsuit
so-
in the
Hold on.
There's
chat.
so many people who cover ALR.
Sinatra says.
Shout out to
Sinatra
you.
says.
Oh, Sinatra.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sinatra
I used-
says.
I
He
used
got.
to date Sinatra like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember there's a stream with I think you and it's a really funny stream. It was a stream I used to listen to for just laughs and shits, and you go with like you and what's his face? That does
Hard
the Lotus
Bastard?
Eater shit now.
Oh, what?
The fucking,
Lotus Eater
Sargon
shit?
and a bunch of other people. You
Yeah,
guys were
so
all on a
obviously-
stream, and it
Oh,
was
yeah,
like a
yeah.
really funny fucking stream. I have it saved somewhere.
The
Nick,
super,
I remember-
is the
I remember-
case, then I think Google would reverse the transactions. Like
They
it would
don't,
be
though.
No, they
really,
don't.
really
They
bad
They
for
just
hold the
no,
money.
They don't.
Money.
They hold the money in essentially escrow.
Forever, I guess
Yeah.
forever. I don't know.
Well, they say in
Nick
escrow,
said,
but
I
it's
think it was
forever.
maybe July or August. I don't remember what month he was referencing this. He made $70,000 in 1 month off of YouTube.
Who did?
Nick.
Yeah, good. He
Nick
deserves
makes a
it.
lot of money.
Yeah,
He
it's-
makes a
he
lot of money.
made
He does
150
because he's
yeah,
extremely
Rittenhouse
he's
trial.
an excellent entertainer,
But
Um,
I just want to say,
and he does good content.
in response to what Lord Moopy is saying, what you got on here, I have met so many good people from Nick's stream
Yes.
that I chat with. Ken, you don't remember this, but I do. It was the last time I was under a different screen name at the time, but the last time Nick and Drex did a call-in stream, and you were
Oh,
running
shit.
this one, I was the very last one in the queue.
Okay.
I got on, and I remember some guy had talked about being blind early in their show, and another guy talked about having seizures. And I get on and mention to Nick that I had a girlfriend who was blind and had seizures, and he and Drex literally stopped. He's like, "Are you trolling us right now?" But
I think I remember that. It's been a while, but I remember doing those
I was
call-in
under
shows.
yeah, and I've met like so many other people I stream with now through
Because
Nick's
it's a
Discord.
positive community. It really is a positive.
We
that's
bust
the
each
thing
other's
YouTube-
balls, but in the end,
Yes.
if someone really needed something, it's like what I do with my friends. If I didn't like insult my friends, like my best friend and I, if you heard us talking, you thought
gotta.
you
You
think
have
we
to.
hated
That's
each other.
Part of friendship. Part of
So-
friendship is
But
busting
if
each
you
other's
said
balls.
something insulting to my best friend, I'd be in your face.
One
Right.
of the best things
But
I've
your
ever had
friend
in my
who busts his
life
balls.
was being a firefighter and being in the military. That type of work like that type of, because like when you're a firefighter, right? Literally the person you're either on the hose with, or you're doing primary search with, or whatever you're doing, your life relies on them. Like if they fuck up, you're dead. Or if you
Tell
fuck
me
up,
more
you
about the
kill
men's
them.
hoses you were on, Ken.
Like they're like these big 5-inch in diameter hoses. And you
Oh my
gotta
God.
really grab them, and like they get really thick when you fill them with
What happens
fluid.
if they go out of control,
Yeah.
Ken? How do
You
you?
can't control your stream.
Listen, I have somewhere. I'll have to find it. We did this part of my
You're
fire
grabbing onto
academy.
your hose and it's going
Bullshit,
all
Ken.
over the
You
place.
No,
Just
wait,
go.
hold on.
You could get on the calendar.
Tim, I will send you a link. Tim, I'll send you a link to my
He's gonna
fire
send you a
academy
link to his
video,
hose.
but you can never share it. But I'll send you a link to my fire academy video and see if you can pick out
He just
which
wants to
person I
show
am.
off his hose.
Oh, I've seen your face. I know what you look like.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, this is me like over a decade ago, but
Believe me, the only thing you would look is maybe
but
I don't know. You
You're
look
gonna
like a
see-
7-year-old boy.
maybe.
His hose exploding all over the
But
place.
one of the things we
Full blown.
did in the fire academy is we were doing as part of one of our days is they take a fire hose and they cut the coupling off of one end of it, and they basically put it on high pressure, and it's flailing about in the middle of this field, and your job is to basically it's wrangle down the hose. And so
Yeah.
what they'll do is they'll have you crawl. There's a technique to doing it. Is they'll have you crawl out the hose and try to secure it
Technique.
so it doesn't it doesn't injure anybody. And you have to do it in this right way. And they would turn the pressure up on the water so it would fling people off. And it's the funniest fucking shit. But also, AP's here. Welcome, AP.
Hey,
Also,
Hey,
check out Adonis Paul's channel.
It's
I love
been forever, man.
I love
How's it
AP.
going?
I show
didn't
your
think
shit so
Aiden would
much.
remember
Aiden,
me.
this is actually the first
Oh,
time we
come
talked.
on.
I've watched you on other
I-
streams, Aiden. I've
I
just-
remember when
Hey,
you
you
were
and I
AP
haven't
the
talked
frog
since
on
the-
Kumite. It's
Yeah,
been
we haven't
so
touched this back in like Kumite days. It's been a long ass time, man. How's it going?
I've been on
like
with
it. We're
Pretty
Ken.
good. I think Ken needed a resident dumbass on this stream. There were too many big brains.
No, you're
Wow.
listen.
No,
your
no.
your Letitia documentary, dude, is fucking beautiful.
Well, thank you.
I-
I'm glad you liked it.
I've watched it more than once because it one saves me from having to search for everything, and two cuts out some of the bullshit.
Be
It still
careful about watching that too many times, man. It'll erode your brain cells. It's a bad one.
Letitia, I really wish I had the time to go through and legit do a case study, like a scholarly article on Letitia, because her situation is just so fucking interesting to me. Like the
Yeah,
level.
you and everybody at the research hospital she ran away from, man.
From what I've heard about this case, AP, you might be someone who would remember this. I was talking earlier about the H3H3. What was it called again? The FUPA fund, right?
Super fun.
Do you remember this, AP, or is it just the
No,
game?
no.
Oh,
I
no
don't
one-
remember
okay.
the- I mean, it may have been an era where I was around and I just don't remember.
Yeah,
it.
I looked
this
it
might
up.
have
It was
been
like
an older era of
2016.
YouTube. Yeah, but it was before that. So they just to finish the story. So the guy who cooperated their video, Matt Haas, he drops the claim, but they made like $1 million, and they said, okay, well, we're going to, I think it was more than that even. They were like, okay, well, we're going to take the money that we made that we didn't have to use to go to court, and we're going to use it. And any YouTuber who is the victim of a false copyright infringement claims is going to be able to use this legal fund. Guess who never saw a penny of the FUPA fund? Anybody.
Oh,
Except for
yeah.
I do
Ethan
remember
Klein.
something. I remember something vague about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard
That's-
people talk about that.
Yeah. Again, totally memory hold, because Ethan Klein for sure, who is one of the scummiest people on.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say Ethan's garbage,
Yeah,
and so is
Ethan's
his,
an
so is
asshole.
his soon-to-be ex-wife. They're both garbage.
Oh, they
Oh,
are
yeah.
Force?
I caught them like in a thread threatening to like burn my buddy's house down because he made fun of some midgets. It was ridiculous.
Probably.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure they
ridiculous.
did. They're really horrible people now. I don't know if they always were, but they certainly are now. I don't know if it's
I'm
just
going to
LA
say they
getting to
probably
their head.
were.
Well,
They-
they also moved to LA, so it seems that like if
There
you
you
live in
go, right
LA
there.
for a certain amount
Oh,
of
it
time, you become a
accelerates. Yeah,
scumbag.
you end up like you're in a place where you're not going to hear any other opinions in LA. So yeah, it accelerates the disease pretty bad.
Mhm.
But that was back like 2014. I'm gonna say when the FUPA Fund whole thing happened, and that is eviscerated to the memory hole. Nobody remembers that now, clearly. And so with the legal stuff with YouTube, this has been going on for a decade at this point, of major issues with YouTube and the copyright issues. And now we have the current iteration of it, which is the abuse of the "I'm offended."
Yeah, it's not a thing. You should
Stuff.
not be censoring speech because you're, but like, I understand it's a private company shit,
Well,
like whatever. Like,
I guess
fine.
the question is that I would ask to all of you, which was asked to me on Twitter as well, is, well, is it okay? Well, Rekieta doxed people.
No,
That's
he didn't.
against the doxing policy.
Technically, he didn't.
He did not. I
No,
agree. That's
there's
what I
no
was going to
technically
ask you all
about it.
about.
He did not.
I'm just saying is depending on how you define it, that's not doxing.
Right.
It's is it complicated? Yes.
Should
but
we?
I mean, you can
define
call it.
doxing?
They can come up with whatever excuse they want. We all know that it's because he pissed off somebody from the wrong victim class who had enough clout.
Yes.
No, there's a protected class now in the
Yes.
world, and we are seeing them use the copyright.
It's the hate speech. That's what it's. He got.
They're
I
using
guarantee he
that-
got hit over hate speech. Yeah.
They're using the system as a sword to destroy anyone who disagrees with them, anyone they see as an enemy or a 100% ally. You
They're
could be a-
untouchables. I mean,
you
they
can
are
be-
the definition of untouchables. You
Mhm.
can't
Right
you could
now.
agree
do
with
anything.
F1.
Well,
Honestly,
I also wouldn't touch them in real life.
Yeah.
I
Either.
mean,
You could
yeah,
agree with
literally
you
and
fucking
figuratively, they're untouchable.
bigot, you bigot.
yeah. Honestly speaking, no. I thought that Drexel's channel would catch a strike from the map episode we just did, that we just put up on yesterday.
I
think.
haven't watched it, but I probably should download it before it gets streamed.
Yeah, before.
Yeah,
Strike
like,
for
'cause
fucking
that
bigotry or
is the
some
protected
shit.
class, right? The maps and the trans.
Yes.
So, here's the
By the way,
thing.
I
Sexuality, according
aptly
to
named
them.
the episode Drexel versus Cartography.
Well, they say that's a protected class now. And by the way, this is what drives me up a goddamn wall, is that I remember for years we used to laugh at the stupid conservatives who said like, "Oh, well, you want like gay marriage thing? What do you want? Pedophiles next?" Oh God, I thought that was a meme.
That slippery.
Yeah, we're going down that slope at 80 miles an hour.
we're
and
near
They're
the
still,
bottom.
they're still laughing like there's no slippery slope, and we're on a sled going about 80,
Yeah, but you gotta understand
happened?
something. Okay,
70-degree
we're-
incline downwards.
Yeah, you gotta understand that when you call the left on their hypocrisy, they'll just shrug it off and be like, well, whatever. Because
They just giggle.
it's not
they
about
giggle
that.
and
Yeah,
they give you.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
consistency.
They post a
sick.
black lady rolling her eyes at you, and they giggle.
Yeah,
I like
Aiden, talk about the hive mind mentality, because
Sure.
it really is what they espouse the most. It's I'm just going to agree with whatever is the current thing, and I will invent the justification around it.
So
I had a run in
yeah.
with a very racist person earlier today on Twitter. They've announced Ironheart, the character who's a black girl who
Yeah.
creates her own Iron Man suit from just watching Tony Stark, and he said something along the lines, "Oh, people are gonna say that just because she's black, she's worse than Tony Stark." And I commented, I said, "You just now using racism shut down every discussion on whether the show is good or bad."
Yeah. By the way, that character has been around since she's been around for about 10 years now. And
Yeah, and
people
I've
had
heard-
that criticism 10 years ago. Not
It's
that
similar- Oh,
Sorry,
God,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I thought you'd been
He's going to be in
my bad.
Wakanda Forever, the next Black Panther movie, which I love the
Right.
first one. First one was amazing.
well,
in my-
there's no more I'm sorry, what's the actor's name who passed away?
Chadwick Bronson. He passed away.
Yeah, Boseman. Yeah,
You would never tell watching him do everything, all the press stuff during the last Avengers movie that he was being eaten.
No,
I
don't think he had any desire for the woke crap. I think he just wanted to do stuff.
There's a couple of times looking back, like he had fallen asleep during like a press junket.
Yeah,
someone had to like kind of elbow him. But just man, the pain he must have been going through and doing all those stunts, and it was an amazing movie. It was. Mm-hmm. It really was. It was a beautiful. The movie, the costumes, the setting was just beautifully done. And
the first Black Panther is excellent. It's not really based on my favorite run of, which is who said this? I saw someone say this the other day, and I'm sorry, I'm stealing the line. I can't remember. It says, if it don't say priest on the crease, if it doesn't say priest on the crease, don't read it. Which is Christopher Priest is the guy who wrote the definitive, in my opinion, and in the opinion of most, I would say, comic book fans who actually care about Black Panther and have read Black Panther comics. If it doesn't say Christopher Priest on the crease, don't read it. But even though they didn't really draw a whole lot from the Christopher Priest line of comics, he was a black guy, of course, writing them, and not the only one. Not like Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is who they draw from now. He's a total SJW sociopath.
He has single-handedly ruined Thor and. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that? I take it you saw the Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
No, I don't engage in hate watching. So instead, what I do is I watch other people's reviews of things. And
have you ever seen Spaceballs?
I love Spaceballs.
The ship that Thor comes out on the end of Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm not spoiling anything because it's been out for months, is a purple ship. It's Lone Star's ship from Spaceballs.
Oh my God, I was about to say, please tell me you're not about to compare Love and Thunder to fucking Spaceballs.
No, I love Spaceballs.
It's terrible.
Spaceballs is one of my favorite all-time movies. I'm saying that Thor: Love and Thunder ripped off the ship. It's a big purple RV with wings.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, of course.
To the Winnebago.
There are people. Oh, it's fine. So here's one of the things I was talking about is these people fucking Fed posting. I'm not gonna drop a name, but there's someone on Nick's local who posted a post that said, "Time to fight fire with fire. Let's mass flag whichever cocksucker did this to Nick. Any YouTube savvy know how we should go about this? Like, you fucking look like a Fed.
Fuck off.
You fucking glowy. Stop." Like,
the only thing I would say, it is interesting how we are held to different standards. I agree. I
hold myself to a higher standard.
Yes, we should hold ourselves to. Well, we should.
I try.
That is the difference, though. Between
come on.
I have such problems with that, and like I said earlier in the chat, it seems like we're stuck abiding by a rule book the left has pissed on and thrown out
precisely
on fire.
Oh shit! There's sex bots. God damn it! Hold on. I gotta fix something.
Precisely outpost. You're 100% correct. I was just talking about this. I don't know if it was on my either on my podcast or with my friend in general, or just with some friends recently, which is that we on the right, and I'm using that extremely broadly, which just basically means anyone not on the far left at this point. And I hate to ascribe the term right to people who don't necessarily want that ascribed to them. But those of us not on the extreme left, which is society has become so polarized and dichotomistic, there's no other word I can really say. But those of us on the right are basically, we're being held to the standard of, no, we need to act civilly, we need to act decently, we need to act under the rules of law. And the left is saying, fuck it, lol. So we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, because when we march, there's fucking inquisitions. When they march, the media comes out and they stand in front of a burning building and say, "This is mostly peaceful,"
and puts them in jail for a year and a half without trial.
That's the nature of an inquisition. And you know what? Also, you know what creates inquisitions? A moral superiority. That's when you get inquisition.
Good point.
And that's where the left is right now. Is a very morally superior place. It's very similar to religion, where they're allowed to strap you to a stake and burn you in the street because God's on their side.
So
let this happen.
Real quick,
Paul, ask yourself, who let that happen?
I mean, we all kind of did as a collective.
Who were like, well, we don't like them calling us mean names, so we'll meet halfway. I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree.
If I can put my last point on this subject, though, if we don't act that way, if we do not hold ourselves to a higher moral standard, what are we then?
Here's the thing: is
that's the
we don't
conundrum.
win either. Here's the thing: is we either lose or we lose harder. So
Yeah.
if we go out and mass flag and do Fed posting, and go, oh, let's go kill Cuffles or Cuffles either die, like one, they're just gonna be like, oh look, we were right. There's a reason we mass flagged them, and there's a reason
Yeah, they
behind.
were always
We can
evil.
we can justify our mass flagging. That's how they do it. Versus if you go out and go and do it the quote right way, you still may not win, but they can't use the same thing against you.
I
It's
guess
harder. It's harder to do. Like, don't get me wrong. It's harder to be civil in this situation. Like, do I like? Am I enough of a script kiddie where I could start fucking DDoSing a bunch of shit if I wanted to? Sure. Am I going to? No. One, because it's illegal. Two, because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't solve the problem.
I guess you could call it Christ cuckery, but as a Christ cuck myself, it is turn the other cheek. At some point, that's what makes us the better people. And eventually, good will win. I have to believe that. I have to believe that. I have to be a little bit white pilled.
Nope. Aiden, you and
No.
Drex would disagree on that one.
I know Drex and I look. Trust me, Tim. I'm actually, in general, an extremely black-pilled person, but I have to believe, because of my Christ cuckery, that inevitably good will win out over evil. And it might take a really long time, and it is always darkest before the dawn, and that's what I have to believe. I sent actually Nick a quote from Voltaire last night on his stream. I sent him a super chat that he did read. Make my sorry,
So
I have to look
people,
it up.
while you do that, people in chat are kind of making interest, not saying you're wrong, but there is
Oh, yeah.
like, for example, Dragon's Treasure is making a point about, with the higher standard shit, like why, we got to stop with that. So here's
Yeah.
an example of if we use the same tactics, it fails, right?
Yes.
And it actually hurts. So legitimately the same tactic just happened within the last 24 hours, effectively. So this tactic was they didn't like what Nick was talking about. They file ethics board complaints against Nick. Ethics board says, no, my free speech, legitimately. And Nick goes, here's the people who filed, who, if you read the fucking paper you're signing, says they're going to send the information to you. It's a public document. It's illegal. You can Nick can do whatever he wants. And I mean, the names aren't even tied to accounts. It just has names. It's not like John Smith was this user on Twitter who filed the complaint.
Well,
it was
no,
just
some of them absolutely tied their real names to it because they got
Yeah,
found
some
on
of them-
Twitter immediately.
some of them did, but
If
that
you
is
don't
the
want your
same.
name out there. Don't file shit against a giant YouTuber.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that is their technique, and it got Nick suspended or terminated. So if we use the same I'm not saying Nick was wrong for it. I think Nick was doing an interesting thought experiment. Effectively, is saying here's their techniques, and he was going to post the unredacted on locals. I have my personal opinions and I have my YouTube opinions about it. Like, I don't know if I would do it, but I'm not necessarily against it. It's not necessarily something I would want, but I could see why he would do it in his situation. But it's still, if we use their methods, it still hurts us. So you got to do something.
It will very
think a bit-
quickly be turned on us by the
always,
media.
always.
Yes. We have to understand the media is entirely our enemy. Even Fox News, just the entire media apparatus is your enemy.
It's like my
Right.
dad
Hey,
watches.
speaking of the media, can Ben Shapiro put out a pretty questionable take today?
Oh,
Really?
Very, and Drexel and I
Link?
have warned.
Can you
about
link it?
this. Yeah, of course. I've got
Private chat or?
While you do, I'd like to read. I found the Voltaire
Go for
quote I
it.
sent to Rekieta, which I think is a quote that I find myself thinking about more and more. It is, quote, I have never made but one prayer to God, a very short one. O Lord, make my enemies ridiculous. And God granted it. Which I
I've
think
heard
is
that before.
true. Because at least
Say it one more time.
it is, I have never made but one prayer to God, a very short one. O Lord, make my enemies ridiculous. And God granted it. And I certainly think that Keffels is an example of making mine enemies ridiculous.
But I mean, is it this point ridiculous, or is it gone beyond that because ridiculous was funny laughing at bathtub hormones.
Oh,
weeks ago.
he's still ridiculous. I don't. I mean,
I'm not saying
a
he's still
ridiculous
not, but I
person.
think we've gotten
Yeah.
past ridiculous. And
Something weird is going on here that I don't entirely understand. I don't pretend to understand everything. Social science, you could ask me questions about. I don't understand what's happening here. I do not understand the seemingly bizarre protection that Keffels
they
specifically
don't even
has.
have that many followers. They've got
what I
like
wanna be
30,000
clear about
YouTube subs or
It's
something.
the,
It's not
type
that
of,
many.
it's the type of protection you get when you give someone an ultimatum, like "Give me what I want, or there will be fucking mass suicides."
Well,
Okay,
right, but
stop it,
let's look at,
Letitia.
let's look at, for example, what's the person's name who did the out of my mind, out of my fucking mind, who has the Legend of Zelda speedrun record, Narcissa
Oh,
Wright. So Narcissa Wright was a
Yeah.
trans person on Twitter who talked about like shooting
Now,
up a
there's
school or
someone I
something.
remember.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't like Narcissa said something about like shooting up a school or something and got banned permanently from Twitch. Or I don't know if it was permanent, like we got banned for a long time. Cosmo, yeah, Narcissa Wright. And that person got punished, but it was because I guess they were at a low point of their career. Whereas I everything about Keffels to me seems fake and forced and pushed by some invisible kind of external oligarchy that's pushing this into our faces. I don't quite understand
I think Keffels is a very unstable individual. I think
yeah,
Keffels is.
Very.
I have not.
I'm not
I
going to
can't-
say that as a diagnosis, but
Yeah, I
Well, I
can't claim
will.
to have met all kinds of trans
as an-
people or anything, but the one that I've run into on YouTube, other than Keppel, I didn't even meet this person, and just because somebody used my name in their chat, they ran a full fucking doc of in their comments of my family, me, my location, all that shit. So I'm led to believe these are very these are very reactionary people. That might come of somebody who is not being entirely honest about their identity and their intentions. They get
let's
very
also
they
be
get very
clear
confrontational.
that we've just seen now. Keffels has said that doxing is an act of terrorism and all that stuff. That they've been consistent about that, but
they
have no
dox
problem.
themselves.
Had no problem doxing other people either. They even have said it on Twitter that they want to dox people and stuff like that.
Well, go back to
and
what I
they're-
said earlier, right?
Mhm.
Like, if you sat Keffels down on a lie detector test and said, "Are you a biological woman?" and she said yes, it would ding and say she's telling the truth. She truly 100% believes
Yeah.
the delusions that they have created around themselves. That's the hive mind. If
I
you
mean,
say,
I'm not here.
well,
I'm not
hey,
here to
is
say their
Is
gender
Nick,
delusion or
is
not.
Nick's,
Like it's.
is
I'll
Nick
diagnose.
doxing? Is Nick
Well, I
doxing
mean-
terrorism, but you doxing because you do it in defense of people? Okay, she'll say yes, and the lie detector will prove that she's telling the truth.
Well, you
Like,
know, is
yes.
it cool? Is it cool when
100% believes
Christians
it.
burn people, but when heathens burn people, it's not cool?
Wait,
Apparently,
I can't burn people anymore. It's bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ken, I'm sorry.
We have an
It's
update.
It's that moral
Oh,
superiority.
we have an
complex.
update.
It's nothing real much, but live stream. This was a minute ago. Live stream tonight at 11 on Rumble and Odyssey. No one owns my speech. No one owns the right to silence it. And then the links to his streams
Excellent.
tonight
Again,
on Rumble and
it's-
Odyssey.
good.
It's 3:40 a.m. here, so I won't probably be awake for that.
Uh,
He'll be
I will
streaming
be
more.
awake.
Where do you live now? Nova Scotia?
I live in a tiny island off the coast of the UK. So
Holy
Oh, are you
crap.
on the island of Man?
yeah, might as well be. Whatever. No, I'm actually. People know, so I don't mind. I'm in Guernsey. It's a very and also because
Kind
you
of want to go
cannot
to the
fuck.
UK.
Well, I wouldn't say you cannot fuck with me here because that's challenging danger. But
I mean, you're in the
it'd be
cuck
difficult.
K, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah,
Um,
No,
Aiden
people
can be
people definitely
arrested
could
for
fuck with
like
me here if they wanted to,
misgendering.
but no, not for that. No, none of that stuff. Like again, if someone wanted to fuck with me here, they
Share my
totally
screen
could.
if you get a
It'd be
chance.
very
Boy,
difficult.
Scotland Yard is
what
knocking on the
do you
door.
got there, Outpost Nerd? I can't read it.
From
What
a
is this?
certain Scotsman that
Luck
Nick
with the
talked to
winner
a
up
couple
there.
weeks ago. Remember?
Oh,
when-
really, Duncan? Oh, really? Can you send me the link to that so I have it saved to my archive folder in private chat, please?
Oh, of course.
Thank you. Let me pull your stream back so no one sees
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you close them porn tabs, buddy. Thank you. There you go. So,
By the way, I did put a screenshot of what Ben said. It was in regards to Tom Brady. There's a
yeah,
report
what
that
this guy's saying.
Giselle has hired a divorce lawyer. And Ben's like, well, this is what you get when you don't put family first. And it's like, really? Really? God damn it. The guy's 45 years old and working.
I deemed it.
People are so bizarre.
I put it on Discord for you, kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
hey, Tracy's in the chat.
Also, I've said before, and I'll say it again, is if I had the finances right now, I would buy the Kiwi Farms off of Josh and pay him to run it. Because I believe in free speech that much. There's a couple other free speech websites that I would, if I had the finances right now, I would pay to run just for.
Mumsnet's now getting targeted. They're the new target.
Which is?
It's a woman's gossip forum.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Seriously.
Of which there are many, by the way. Like lolcow.farms is mostly full of women. I mean, like, this is the thing, is that, guess what? The internet, and here's the thing, remove the internet from your mind. People talk shit. You can remove the internet. People will go next door to their neighbor and be like, "Oh, Gladys, did you hear? But I heard that Abigail was doing blah, blah, blah." Like, that's what they do. That's the nature of
demographic
humanity.
shift on my channel to 70% female engagement with old titty movies. Like when there was a woman to talk shit about that other women hated.
Oh, women
I gained like 10,000. Oh God, I jumped 10K quick.
Women love talking shit about other women. There must be some evolutionary
my favorite
rationale
thing about you guys.
Towards it.
Aiden, that was too good of an impersonation. It was too good. I have some questions for you now.
Look, okay, let's be real. Everyone likes a little bit of tea. Everyone likes a little bit of drama. Everyone likes to hear a little gossip. It is built into our human evolutionary psychology because we're trying to figure out who is part of the in group, who is part of the out group, is part of our tribe or whatever it is. This is just the way that humans have evolved to be, for better or for worse. Probably for worse, but we're just monkeys at the end of the day. So sometimes it's not good things that our evolution has ascribed
Does that
to
mean
us.
we should do it like they do on the Discovery Channel?
Well, you wouldn't.
No, it's awesome. I don't know if it's not a good thing. We've evolved to the point where I can make a living and eat and have heat and electricity and all this technology around me. And you know what I do for it all? I make fun of tards on the internet.
But that's offensive when you should be banned for that.
I live in the peak of Rome. I don't want to be born in any other time. Yeah, it's terrible, but you can also, like, if you were born in America, you literally can't fail. Do you know how lazy you have to be to fail in this country?
It is kind of astonishing.
I had a psychology.
How many of you here are familiar with TFM and turd flinging monkey?
Oh, I haven't talked to TFM in forever.
Okay, so he's a huge proponent of the survivalist mentality. Like, the world's gonna end, so just build a bunker, right?
I haven't talked to TFM in
he's not he's not one of those fucking what do you call them?
Ted Kaczynskis.
I see people guys, in Rekieta's live chat.
He's basically like, take care of yourself because no one else will. My dad espouses that to a T. Now he just got wiped. He just got hit by a hurricane, but he lives in a compound powered by a solar array, and he sells weed for a living.
Sorry, Ken. What were you saying though?
I was saying, as I'm reading through Nick's live chat on Locals, because he's got one running prior to this stream, and I'm still seeing a few fucking Fed posty people like, fucking stop, guys. Seriously. Nick, I've texted Nick. I've talked to Nick. I can't say what I'm talking about, but he's okay.
No,
things are being processed. Trust me. I know you guys can't see it, but
it's fine though.
Okay.
I remember I told my husband as soon as this shit started happening, I was like, Jesus Christ, why don't I not have like Nick's actually like I guarantee he doesn't want too many people to have because I'm sure his phone blew up of people.
Oh no,
he said his phone battery almost died from so many people messaging him.
Yeah, I know.
If you keep telling people not to do something on the internet, you are inevitably creating
because
one or two people are going to go do it to be assholes.
They're going to do it, but
the entire
people want to do something, and it's trying to redirect the energy into something positive because everyone's freaking the fuck out right now. People burn it down, fuck Keppels.
Like I was
getting Keppels, like
yes, I went. I finished my stream at like 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, all right, time to sleep because I've had a really fucked up sleep schedule, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go take a sleepies now, and then it was like, as I get ready to end my stream, I end my stream, and then I go look at Twitter for a second. It's like, what the fuck? Rekieta just got banned, and now my energy level is through the goddamn roof because I'm infuriated. Because here's the thing that you miscalculated, Feckles, is that people like Nick Rekieta as a person because he has been a good person, even if he makes fun of us or makes fun of you or whatever, has been a good human being to like thousands of people. Okay,
he makes fun of me all the fucking time. I mean, he called me gay last night. Someone super chatted him to call me gay, and he called me like super fucking gay last night. But like,
he's been
a good person,
human being to thousands of people. So I don't. Whereas what you have been to the couple of hundreds of people who occasionally listen to your stream that you didn't pay to listen to it, by buying bots, couples, don't actually like you. They like you because you're not for you. They like you because you're transgender, and that's all they care about. People actually like Nick Rekieta as a human being.
Yes.
They want to hear what he has to say. They find him entertaining, and they think that he's a source of wisdom, or maybe not wisdom, at least entertainment, right? Information. How about that? So you fucked with somebody who is beloved by his audience. Even though they like to make, trust me, his audience shits on him all the time too for his big nose or whatever. But someone who is a well-liked figure amongst dozens of other YouTube creators and thousands and thousands of people. So you fucked maybe this one up.
The thing with Nick.
Well, and he also plays by the rules 100% of the time. Yeah. And so when you fuck that guy up, the well-liked guy who always plays by the rules, what you're left is with a situation where you are thought policing. He didn't break any of your rules. Anything that he said was public information. He didn't dox anyone. He didn't drop where they were, their locations, how to find these people. They probably 10,000 people with each one of those names he read.
Yeah, I was about to say that. How many thousands, if not millions, of other people had these people's names?
This is 100% about, and Rekieta will be hailed as the perfect example because he's so squeaky fucking clean. And that's the dumb guy's opinion on this. Is like he's so squeaky clean. He's the perfect poster boy for this shit.
But
sorry,
real quick, the thing that I heard from people on Twitter is that like, oh, he posted their whole docs. He posted their posted their phone numbers, and I was like, no, he redacted all that, even though it actually would have been within his right to post it.
He was going to post the unredacted on locals, but he never got to it.
Even if he had, it would have been within his right to post it because guess what? These people filed a public complaint against him. They knew when they went in to file the complaint, it would be a public complaint. It tells you that because, by the way, I went to the Minnesota bar tonight and looked at it at the form. And it says,
what about the 1,000 true crime channels out there that are constantly pulling down people's fucking court records and shit? Every day there's 100 streams reading people's court records.
Yeah, but apparently,
I lost my job for that. So
did you already read this, Ken? Though I guess before I showed up, the message that someone sent Nick. Of desperation, begging him basically to not.
From last night. Yeah, he was talking about it this morning in his locals chat, I think. I think he also talked about it on stream earlier. Yeah, they were like, please don't share my name. Like,
I cannot begin to express the supreme lack of foresight I myself had when doing this, especially when the information may okay, you knew what you did.
That whole message told me that they are fully aware of.
That makes me think this was fucking planned ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay,
they planned this shit ahead of time.
AP, why are you sitting chat?
When Vic Mignogna's case started?
That's my sock account.
Doxed.
Do you remember when the Vic stuff started and we all speculated that the true goal of Markey and Rial and Toye was actually to get Vic to yeet himself?
Yes.
That's what they want. That's what they wanted Vic to do. Absolutely.
I'm pretty confident they did. I would support that statement.
Nick was during the Vic stuff, and just finally realizing that there are people out there like Nick and Ty speaking out for the innocent men wrongfully accused.
Yeah,
it's
a big deal.
It saved me. I can't say it any other way. It
So
saved me.
I'm so
So
glad that
that's
it did.
the goal. That always
And
has
that
been
is the goal. Yeah.
I think that's been what I think Nick's channel evolved from reading legal documents to being a place to
Positive
where.
community.
And speaking of the community, apparently there's been a bunch of suspicious accounts joining Nick's Discord recently in the
Well, it's all
last
locals
few
people,
hours.
right? People whose
I don't know if it's
YouTube
new locals
membership got
people or
yeeted.
not, but
Well, Rekieta was also pro Kiwi Farms,
Yeah,
and a
that's
lot of
the
the
I'm
people,
pro Kiwi
and,
Farms.
and well, I
As am
am
I.
too. But also a lot of the people in his chat were users of the farms and were pro Kiwi Farms. So this wasn't just a strike at Nick Rekieta. This was a blow at their enemy, a noticeable blow that their enemy would that, and they don't give a fuck that they just destroyed a guy's livelihood doing this. They don't give a shit about that.
It's
They do
the
that.
I
most
disagree with-
That's just a Tuesday for the left.
I disagree with you, Link, on that one. I think taking the high road, if done properly, does a lot for our side. It's just that taking the high road means, like, right now, a lot of people are, and this is the therapist Ken speaking for a minute, right? There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of emotions, and like I said in the text, I said, like when I lost my job last year, I literally left my employer's office and drove the 10 minutes to the VA to talk to my therapist because I didn't know how I was going to feel. Because I had just lost my job over bullshit and a job I loved and people I was helping. And like all of that was just taken away from me like that. I didn't know what I was going to do considering I have a history of suicide attempts. Like I thought I'd need to talk to someone I needed someone now.
I
Like
remember
that
when
was,
happened, Kim.
that was bad. That was a tough day. That was a really bad day. Thankfully, I
remember-
had a bunch of people support me through it.
Yeah, I remember when I heard that happen. I was so worried about you, dude.
Dude, I was worried about myself. I
For the
still,
longest
there
time,
was
I
a
thought
lot,
Ken
it was a,
Jeopardy.
but I can't imagine what Nick's going like because that's his income. That's all he feeds his family. Thankfully, he has locals and I think still Patreon, but
He still does have his law firm, but it's going to be really hard for him if he does decide to go back to that. And one thing about what that previous commenter said, I'm sorry, I forgot the name. I know that it doesn't do anything, quote unquote, for our side to be better in terms of the instantaneous results, right? But that's the difference between what we're doing, I think, versus what the left is doing. And yes, is it conservative? Is it gay? Yes, it is to a certain degree. But at the same time, if we are not better, if we resort to the same tactics as them, how can we possibly present ourselves as being a better alternative to what we are fighting against? That's all I can think about is that
there are plenty of tactics they use that we can use, though, but we're all a bunch of fucking spoiled baby soft pussies. Like,
I just don't think the tactic.
Let me give you an example. Cybershaz in the chat says, I'm going to cancel my YouTube premium until they
There you go.
because of Rekieta. Well,
There you go.
like, you know what the left
those are
will
things
do?
you can do.
The left will vote with their wallet. The left will boycott shit. They will not get chicken for the last 20 fucking years because of some stupid gay marriage bullshit with the owner. Like, they'll do that shit. We won't do it. We will not. I'm not going to cancel my YouTube premium because I don't want to watch ads.
I know.
So, like it's not going to go anywhere, man. I'm being honest about it. Like,
but no, you're completely right that we're unwilling to do this stuff we actually can do. Because again, like when people are like, "Oh, I go there and fight shit," it's like, no. When you go out and do violent actions, that is what the left wants you to do more than anything. They want blood. They demand it. Do not go out and be violent. Do not go out and be aggressive. Do not go out and be confrontational or even say
their currency.
Shit.
If you punch them in the face, it's like ching.
It's their that's what they want more than anything. Even just to say something confrontational to them. However, what you said, AP, is correct.
Put them
in the wallet.
The 6th was better for them than any Christmas, any holiday they could have asked for. January 6th was better for them than any of that. Birthdays, Christmas, they got exactly what they wanted that day. And you know what? The right was stupid enough to do it. Stupid enough to let them have what they wanted.
America is littered with examples of inciting a mob into doing some dumb shit and then turning around and blaming the mob. America is littered with examples of that from the fucking shot heard around the world.
Yeah, not only that, but
this is not the first time that a mob has just been incited to do some stupid shit and then the government turned around like, this fucking mob has to be stopped.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like
I mean,
they were dumb. They were absolutely dumb to do what they did that day.
false flags
now
exist for a reason. I mean, that's exactly like if the group won't do if the group will not do a crime themselves, then you just invent one, right? Like the end game, right? The end
Yeah.
goal is always in sight, and then
That-
you just invent the circumstances to make it happen.
What you just said is 100% why I won't cover anything to do with She-Hulk. I won't even mention She-Hulk. They get to, and I've been watching the coverage, but let me give you a good example of what you just said
Yes, my
like
videos.
kind of a smaller sphere, just entertainment. Episode 8 of She-Hulk is all about how toxic the fandom is and how terrible the fandom is and all that shit. They
Fucking
knew now,
seriously.
episode 8 of She-Hulk was in the can and edited
Oh, yeah.
before they even fucking announced it.
I
Everything
remember
was
shit,
this
yeah.
has been manufactured. They knew they could not sell this show, and guess what? Clicks and ratings are up because of all the hate about it. I won't play the
And
fucking game.
Jamila Jamil also is been running her. First of all, she is incapable of shutting her fucking mouth. I can't stand her at all.
She can feel both morally superior and she's playing right into what their marketing they need to do to sell this, and that's create hate for it.
Apparently,
and
the
it's
guest lineup
all
tonight's supposed to
secondhand.
be really interesting, according to Nick in his live chat. So it'll be interesting.
Oh, I'm sure
I
like
don't-
everyone who's ever called into a show is going to show up.
I don't want to
Well-
ask to show up, but I want to show up. I don't think I'll go
I mean,
though, but
I could
Just go in and show your dick, Ken.
I do that all the time.
I'm
It's in his
pretty sure it's
DMs.
going to be a super big stream. I would certainly hope it's going to be Destiny.
Destiny would be nice to have up.
Destiny would be very nice to have on because Destiny's takedown of Feckles.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
Oh, you must. Oh, it is a
Yeah,
funeral.
he put the screws to.
I heard it was
put
pretty damn
together.
good, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was legit.
Fucking- look, I find this very odd. Something that's happened to me recently is that I find myself agreeing more and more. I'm very far right. I'm a monarchist, for fuck's sake.
I thought you were a
And I-
commie.
But yeah,
Long live the king.
but I'm a libertarian monarchist, which I know sounds like a contradiction, but don't worry about it. It actually makes sense, but it would take me like a long time to explain it. It actually wouldn't, but whatever. I'm a libertarian monarchist, and I find myself agreeing more and more with people on like the far left, I'm going to call it like the center far left, like people like Destiny and Jimmy Dore. And I find myself agreeing more with people who's like, oh wait, people who are principled, people who actually believe what they say and aren't just following trends. Oh my god!
She's a subscriber to Real Time with Bill Maher.
I like Bill Maher.
I've grown to like Bill Maher. You know what? All I heard when you were saying that is what's been going through my head for the last year. Why do I fucking like Bill
Why do
Maher?
I
all
like
of a
Bill
sudden?
Maher?
Yes.
Like I'm
I found
loathing
myself liking him
myself for
too.
how much I'm sitting here like Bill Maher has a fucking point.
Bill
And I
Maher
hate
has a
myself
point.
for saying it, but
I'll be listening to him and I'll be like, did a pig just fly by my fucking window? What the
because
hell?
he's because he's the only
people-
one anywhere close to the left who will say, okay, this trans thing is not natural. Either California is generating them or Ohio has been shaming them. But them
that-
just all popping up in the last 5 years is not fucking
But yet
natural.
at the same time, Bill Maher is a super pro-union, super far lefty guy, and
He's
it's
a piece of shit. That's why I hate myself for agreeing with anything he has to say.
here's
Yeah.
the thing: people who have true convictions, are all coming out of the woodwork, and I think we agree with each other. Left or right, that kind of differentiation is a little bit nonsensical. It does make sense, but at some point, when the world is falling the fuck apart, we have to be like, okay, who is not insane?
It's really starting to separate between the adults.
Right,
Who
yes.
are the adults? At
There
this
you go.
point?
Good way of saying it.
And
Who's
now we
the
have
adult one?
adolescents through like 40 years old, 45 years old in some
Pebbles
cases. So we have
is 2 years younger than me, I think.
we have fucking full-grown adults who still haven't grown out of their college super liberalism phase. And I guess there always have been a few adults like that. They become like art teachers and shit.
Who was it that said I was young when I was young I was a liberal and stupid. When I got older I was a conservative and smart or something
Oh,
along those
I've heard it
No,
before. I
if
don't
you're,
remember
if
who
you're
said
not a
it.
liberal
Yeah,
at 20, you have
that,
no heart. If you're not a conservative at 30, you have no head.
Yeah, no,
I was more liberal when I was younger, but I was also dumber. I also didn't own things
Yeah,
that I had to
exactly.
protect. I had less to lose, and that's a very key thing to a lot of those people. There's like the rich far left, and then there is the don't have anything to lose far left, and they've got a lot more of those people. That's
yeah.
why
So-
it's easier to throw them in mobs into a major city whenever
Is it
things
not?
happen.
That quote, by the way, that you brought up, Tim, I remember hearing that many times, and I looked it up real quickly because I remember being like, "Who said that?" And the reality is that no one has any idea who said that. It's attributed to
Okay.
at least 15 different people. So whatever.
Yeah.
God fucking
But it
damn
doesn't
it.
make it less true, does it?
Hold on.
It was Jesus.
I gotta
It was
pull
Jesus
this.
himself.
I gotta put this on the screen. I hate myself for this, but I think you guys will like it. Hold on.
I've seen that. I saw that on Twitter.
Oh, that's fucking great.
A couple of Discords I'm into. Yeah.
For those of you who are out of the loop, that's
Yes.
the Waukesha parade driver through person.
And he just the whole
Uh,
time had an objection. written on
Objection.
his, paper.
That
Which
judge
I'm-
just needs.
That judge is going to make him walk. I'm gonna fucking put it on record now. She is violating his rights, in my opinion.
He
Fucking
treats
she
you like
is-
he's a toddler.
She's
Bullshit.
hot.
Disgusting.
She's hot as hell. But she's.
I don't get
stupid,
no
stupid.
one. She's not that hot, but
Yes, she is.
okay,
Teach
dude,
their own.
we need to
Judge Bobby. All right.
maybe
settle
like
down.
Mommy Chew was better. Okay, I'll go there. But I will say that for the horror one, she should have never let him represent himself. Two,
Yeah,
I-
well, she heavily encouraged him not to.
I
it's
don't
nice to
think
just-
he's he's legit in court saying I don't understand any of this.
Well,
And she's just
you-
like, well, I told you already. It's a blah, blah. Like, bitch, just make the ruling and just let him take it to appeals court. It's better to do it with a fucking public defender. And you can always retry it. Like,
past now, has it been 3 different mental evaluations that show that he's sane?
I guess he's sane, but
So
I don't-
I don't know what this is, but he's been through at least 2, if not 3 now, mental evaluations. To
I think
show
it
that
was 3 or 4, actually.
he's been through multiple mental evaluations to show that he's not he's not insane. I mean, I think he's insane, but not according to the definition and the diagnostic criteria. So
I would say he's got, because the judge has hinted at, because she can't say what's in the record because it's private.
yeah,
But she's hinted at personality disorders, obviously.
he clearly has. Some,
I'm pretty sure you could see a couple cluster Bs maybe here,
Oh, yeah,
at least.
I've just seen a couple. I don't know.
Just a couple.
Did you really say Judge Chu was better looking than this judge?
I didn't. I said I would pick Judge Chu over this judge, but only because of ASMR voice, not for looks.
Oh,
He said he's
God.
bald.
I would rather Judge Chu whisper in my ear
oh,
than
shit.
to.
The most
I
annoying.
was
shit.
I'm complete opposite. I couldn't handle her voice. But
Yeah, it was
this
fucking frustrating. It was frustrating. I'll give you that. It was very annoying.
They're gonna hassle me going into Canada because of that.
We're
fucking
going to
guy,
go
man.
into recess. And that was. I mean, like she did ASMR the entire
Well,
time.
this bitch is like like Nick was saying. This bitch is over explaining everything. She's letting him walk over her with all the sovereign shit,
No,
and it's like
what it is that this judge has white woman mommy syndrome, which is that it's like, oh, you poor little child, let me help you. She's been doing it since second goddamn one. She's like, you poor little N word that I can't say. I'm not saying the woman that ends with an ER. Row, N row, right? You
Yeah.
can't understand what you're doing. You're just so stupid. Like it's that condescension, but mommying thing that white women do that she's totally doing to this guy, and I find it really repugnant. But that's
Yeah.
what she's doing.
well, she legit and Nick. I'll have to find the section on Rumble later, but like the guy was legit trying to question the judge, saying she was
I know.
taking away part of his rights. Like,
I know.
I'm gonna take away your right to this or your ability to do this, and it's like, dude, if you just finished your sentence, you have like a great appeal point right here.
I just did
Like,
2
she tries
hours
to give you-
earlier
she was-
listening to somebody who talks just like that, but worse. I don't know if you were there, Ken, but yeah, I
For
just
who?
did.
Oh,
Like,
that Home Depot bitch.
I'm
I
like
haven't
back in
watched
the
that
right-
stream yet.
I'm
But
listening to you like describe the judge, and I'm like back in the fucking rice paddy.
It says something like, "Oh, you poor little,
Yeah.
poor
Oh
little
god.
ignorant."
So condescending and so
N-word.
white. I just.
Oh, it's
well,
disgusting.
he was pissing me off. They kept saying, "Oh, here's your paperwork. I don't consent to having to any."
I
of
don't
this."
consent to receiving paperwork. That was the fuck.
It's like,
Like,
you don't get a fucking choice in that, you little prick.
He doesn't consent to anything.
That's why I
he's
date a
been-
Japanese girl. I just toss her a fish cake whenever she
Oh,
starts.
it's
She's
better when they
usually-
don't consent, right?
That's right.
Get
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Japanese girls used to little pricks, isn't she? Sorry,
That's a joke for anyone who's going to clip that out of
it's a
context.
joke. It's a joke.
Here, it's cute food, and then just. She here?
Oh
God damn it! Again, too good.
But someone mentioned like, why are they whitening his skin? He's been in a fucking prison cell for over a year now. He's not going to be coming out.
Let's remember what this motherfucker did.
Caribbean,
He ran over like 30 people.
killing 6.
He killed 6,
Yeah.
of which some were children.
So what
I
was
mean,
his
he's got
crime?
like 80 something
remember.
charges. What was his
I
crime?
will
God damn
never
it.
forget the clip. I was watching Rekieta, and he came within inches of like a 2-year-old little girl who was standing there
Yeah,
on the side in front of her parents.
Where they pulled her out because he was driving. He almost
Oh,
killed
just-
a fucking toddler.
God,
This
that
man-
made my whole
And
body
it was
cringe.
also he was politically motivated. He was mad about something. It was like over some political shit, right?
I think it was Rittenhouse.
It was Rittenhouse. It was Rittenhouse. Yeah, it was Rittenhouse. That was what it was.
And
Right, 'cause
the weird thing, the crazy thing is, he was out on bail, if I'm not mistaken, because he hit his girlfriend like a week or 2 before with the car.
Yeah, he's a career criminal, like all those people fucking are, who are these Antifa types or whatever. And the disgusting part is that people like him are not just motivated, but are encouraged into action like that because they're told, "What's wrong? We'll just bail you out." As for example, the guy who ran over the teenager in I think it was in North Dakota or one of the Dakotas, I believe. I could be incorrect. Just ran over.
This is the parade judge for those who are curious. This is parade judge, and then this is Judge Chu, because people are wanting a poll in chat. Let me find the Judge Chu picture.
All right, which judge do you prefer?
But that was this is Judge Chu for those who are.
I would go for Judge Judy.
Judge Chu.
I mean, I
No,
do that.
Judge Judy is wild.
Always got very close to the mic.
You got to know her dirty talk in fucking bed is amazing for Judge Chu.
We're going to take a 30-minute recess.
God.
All right.
No, I'm not talking Judge Chu. I'm talking Judge Judy's fucking dirty talk is probably the best
You
fucking
know
sex
she's
talk.
filthy.
You gotta like
This,
You
ju-
know
the
this
role play in
courtroom-
the bedroom and
I hate to say it, but courtroom ASMR is giving me like a real fear erection right now. Somebody who's been in jail, like it's just that right amount of like terror and sexy.
We've gone through a lot. It's all right. We've had both sides have had their say right now.
I hate ASMR. I hate it with a passion.
Sentence me, baby.
sentence me harder, mommy.
Oh, who was the psychologist in the Depp Heard trial? What they call
Oh
him?
my god. Which one? The one that was actually competent, or the one that was a fucking stupid?
Ken went over them.
The muffin one who like
Oh, the
Oh, the
Okay,
muffin.
so
Yeah.
you guys know that the what was it? The female detective in the Rittenhouse trial, right?
Oh yeah, the hot
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. When she got up on the stand and then
Detective Mommy, I
fucking
think
charged
they call
up
her.
a
Mommy, just the
charged
this
up
just,
a
mommy,
AR-15 in
mommy,
front of
mommy,
everyone,
mommy,
showed
mommy.
Binger how to do it.
Oh, I know.
You know, everyone was losing their minds because not
I know.
only was she hot, but she can also hold a gun and handle one.
Now you guys aren't old school enough, man. You guys need to think back old school on these hot
You
lawyers. And
detective
Marcia
milkers.
Clark. I still wake up in cold sweats in the night thinking about Marcia Clark. You forgot the OJ trial. I'm so sorry for all of you who forgot Marcia Clark.
From the OJ.
Who-
I was in elementary school during the OJ trial.
Marcia
okay?
Clark walked in the
Yeah, I was-
first
I
day,
was-
and she was very conservative, and she looked like a lawyer, and she had a fresh perm, and you can tell.
I'm
somebody
looking at the
talked to
picture
her.
now.
Yeah, somebody
Hey.
talked to her that first day, and they were like, "Hey, we think we could do something with you." And the next day, she came in, fucking stacked. So yeah, she like we'll never forget Marcia Clark.
That
It's been extra,
documentary on Netflix about the OJ trial, great fucking
haven't seen
the what is it, the crime? It's like the crime series it's like an 8 or 10 episode thing on the OJ trial. It was really fucking well done. But they talked about Marcia Clark and like her fucking like apparently her nudes got leaked or something to the press or some shit.
Oof,
Like
really?
it was like it was a
Why-
9-month fucking trial. Could you imagine being on a jury, like a sequestered jury for 9 months? I want to hang myself.
Was somebody
Yeah.
that have their nudes?
Awful.
The
Yeah,
whole-
why did
Uh,
they get her news though? But a sequestered jury for 9 months.
Yeah.
And just
Oh.
think, remember how big that trial was in the
Yeah.
age before the internet? Holy
Mhm.
shit. It was huge. It was
The
everywhere.
OJ thing, yeah.
before
I-
the internet.
My new video is about death of celebrities and how people respond to it because, well, especially looking at like was inspired by the death of Queen Elizabeth and how people like like, yeah, fuck you, but I went back and looked at other stuff, and it's bizarre to look at the way people respond to like Michael Jackson. I went through his legal stuff too, and people just being like, they loved him so much. And the same thing with OJ to a certain degree as well. I mean, it was a very big difference between OJ and Michael Jackson, for example. I don't think
OJ didn't do nothing.
You don't think OJ did anything?
I just joking.
Okay, good.
I remember, like every time I
think
watch
OJ killed his wife.
Daryl Brooks didn't do nothing.
Every time I watch Leslie Nielsen in the Naked Gun movies, I see OJ, and I'm just thinking, "What
It's
are
so
you
weird,
about
right?
to do?"
It's so weird.
so
You
weird.
rewatch
seeing
it.
him try to-
Scares the shit out of me. All the celebrities that are dying that I grew up with. It
is
frightens the shit
bizarre.
out of me.
It-
I feel so old now, and I'm not even that fucking old.
It's like Loretta Lynn. Like I grew up, my parents loved her music. She's a country music star, coal miner's daughter, all that kind of shit. She died yesterday, and I'm like,
oh, really?
No, well,
Yeah, she
normally your
yesterday.
father has to die before you have this like I'm next realization with your life, and that's what kind of transitions you into like the old man phase of your life.
No, but I think that the celebrities have that kind of effect on people now.
That's what I was about to get to. Is
Yeah.
we have an entire generation without fathers, and I mean we were in the 80s. They literally replaced our families with television,
Well,
and now
remember this
all of those
too.
80s stars are
So
dying. And
crazy
frankly,
to
it
read
freaks
this
me the
stuff.
fuck out.
We
In
have
the
people
80s,
turning
they
18
replaced
who
them with television
who
in
weren't
the
alive for 9/11.
2006.
Remember that too.
In the
People are now
80s,
18 who didn't live for. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
in the 80s, they replaced the family with television. In the 2000s, they replaced it with tablets and computers.
Yep.
Yeah.
We never went back to having families.
No, it is bizarre though. Like I started out by, and this is the thing that freaked me out about this, right? Is that I was reading all the research on Diana, Princess Diana dying. Princess Diana died when I was 7 years old. And I remember seeing it on TV when I was 7 years old. And I'm reading the research and I start weeping. I'm like, why am I crying? This bitch cheated on her. Like this was not a good, like a super
Not a
like
good
holy
look.
person, And but I didn't know that.
I'm
when I
older
was-
than you, Aiden.
I'd like to field a theory as to why you were crying about her.
Oh, I cried. Dude, this is the hardest video I've ever had to edit. Because also now, like I'm just doing like Michael Jackson or Dale Earnhardt. I don't know anything about Dale Earnhardt.
Did you cry about Michael Jackson or Dale Earnhardt?
No, but
You know why?
when I see other people crying about it, it makes me sit here and cry while I'm editing the video. I'm like, oh,
You don't think it has anything to do with the fact she was a princess?
she was. She
Like
was.
anywhere deep in the back of your mind, were you raised on Disney? She's a dead princess. That's always a sad story when the princess
No,
dies.
it was. No, it was. I remember because what I remember as a child when I was 7 was seeing on our little, CRT TV in my kitchen. I remember seeing it. I remember my mother crying, and like at the funeral procession with all the flowers out and shit. I remember that very vividly, and then me crying too. And I was like, I don't even know why am I crying? I have no idea why the fuck I'm crying. I don't even understand it. And even now, 20 years later, I was still like, why am I fucking crying? It's such a weird thing about deaths of celebrities like that, with whoever it may be. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had there's people like I haven't known that, like it's not someone I've known, but I can be upset about passing away. Like it's not uncommon, but like we get we've talked to Aiden before about like these parasocial relationships and like how and I still don't. I will say it is a general rule because I have seen people have unhealthy relationships with Nick, for example, is a creator. In his chat, like the amount of chats or the level of investment, there are people who overdo it, but I think as a general rule, I think the majority of the relationships or the parasocial relationships Nick has with his community are very positive.
Yes, and one of the things that Nick does that I think that is really kind of beautiful, right? That nobody else really does is that because again, Nick, I believe his background originally was he was a literature major, something like that.
Yeah, he wanted to be a writer.
And
that's why he's so like
Yeah.
so critical of like movies and TVs because he knows what good writing is and he knows what bad writing is when he sees it.
And what he's very good at as an extemporaneous speaker is doing toasts. I think he has some experience also as a toastmaster officially. But when he is able, when that one of the things that I see very commonly in his chat in terms of that parasocial, I almost said PSR, parasocial relationship with his audience is that they'll be like, "Hey Nick, you know, my grandmother died today. My dog died today." And Nick will sit there and pour out a drink, which, he wins, win-win, right? Made
Alcohol.
money and get to have a drink. Just saying, it's the truth. And will give this eloquent speech for someone who he's never met, and their dog or their grandmother who he's certainly never met, which is extremely well done. And that certainly helps, I would say, substantiate or at least crystallize the parasocial relationship of Nick's here with us in a certain way, and that it's a very smart thing that he does as a content creator. At
It's
the
like
same time,
earlier this year, there was an actual couple who met in his chat,
oh, I remember that. Yeah,
got engaged and got married, and
they have a kid.
yeah,
They
great.
have a kid. Probably why they got married. Kidding. Joke.
Again,
Nick-
this is why this
Nick and
Keffel stuff
Lady
is a
Racket,
bad
right?
idea. It's why Keffel's ultimately, this is a bad move. Nick has one of the most positive communities
You
on
picked
YouTube.
a wrong,
Kev was
like,
just gonna deny it and say that he had nothing to do with it. You and I both know how that
No,
goes
no,
down.
no. She is
No,
Keffel
they've-
is
no, they've
bragging about it
already
right now on
said-
Twitter.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
they're-
He posted.
Yeah.
Like you
Good.
There's
tried.
plenty of
I hope he
screenshots
planned to
already.
I hope he planned to stand by that, Keffels, because this
they
was the
won't.
wrong target to
But
attack.
Nick,
I don't-
Nick is also good. The thing I like it about this community, Nick is aware of that kind of interaction. That
Mhm.
what did you call it, Ken? That
Parasocial relationships or
parasocial relationship, and he's even said, "I'm grateful for y'all, but I find it so weird that
it is
I'm
weird.
the reason you
it is very weird.
wake up smiling or something. I don't understand it. He and just to be on that side of it. Like the only celebrity I could think of that I got kind of emotional when they died was because it was so sudden was Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin
Oh yeah,
Williams.
Yeah,
Robin
Here's
Robin
data
Williams
on
is
Williams
that.
fucking
fucked me
I
up.
By the
awful.
way,
have data. I have data
Pull
on
up that
Robin Williams.
shortest
That's
mic quote, Ken.
Which one?
Nick's nose is a bridge.
Oh god damn
Yeah.
it!
It's like I sent when they were on vacation doing a stream. I sent Nick a $5 super chat. I said, "Here's for your nose job." And Lady Dragon was like, "No, don't mess with his nose."
Well, no, Nick is
Oh,
also.
we know what he uses that nose for and why
look,
she's so happy.
Yes. Here's why Nick was the wrong target for this freakazoid. Is that one? Nick is a very likable person.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he has a
Very
he's very invested in his audience in a way that is not fake, right? He'll also talk shit about you, by the way, like people in his audience. It is now parasociality is such as it is in that, well, several of us here have spoken to Nick and maybe know Nick. I wouldn't say that, even though I've spoken to Nick for years and I've met him in real life, I wouldn't consider that I know Nick, that we're like friends or whatever, not by a long shot.
Oh, the Tennessee meetup.
Hey, well, I know, remember? Yeah.
Always comes back to the Tennessee meetups.
It was a fun time. I tried to get him to drink Fireball.
Yeah, everybody had a good time
Good.
except for the guy who was supposed to show up.
Sure was, right? But like, even though I've known Nick for years, we've communicated for years, I wouldn't say even that I know him, right? We're mutuals is how I would say about it. But the way that parasociality works is that people will feel as if they do know him as a person, and that is kind of a big deal. And it's a lot of the way that he interacts with his audience that encourages that, not by his own intention. Because again, he'll make fun of you too, right? His audience. This is not like just some big hug fest or some shit like that, right? It's a more or less normative method of human communication.
Sorry, I'm kind of shit posting memes at this
Yes,
point
shitpost.
from Nick's chat.
The reality though about that is that it does actually in its own way increase the parasociality of being like, oh, he's just one of us. This is in its own weird way increases the parasociality in terms of the research. There's data on this. Cohen et al. Would be the person. Cohen et al. 2003 would be the citation to look for on that. And there's more recent citations. That's just the seminal. But when you murder, and this is again Cohen et al. 2003, which is why I brought it up. When you try to murder a parasocial figure, you get rid of the parasocial relationship, and it doesn't matter because Cohen et al. Is talking about particularly like the cancellation of a show or the removal of a character from a television program, right, or from whatever a serialized program. People act nuts. They go insane. And
A bit.
how did you not figure this, Capfuls? I know because you're an idiot. Maybe somebody should have told you. I know that you think that you're super smarter than everyone because you're a communist or whatever, and so you must have all the information on everything.
Can I
Maybe
ask
you
a
should
question? Let me ask a question real quick.
contact the media psychologist. I don't know. Hello.
Is an example of that kind of like that old 80s meme of like the Trekkies can't tell Captain Kirk from William Shatner kind of thing?
No, it's more like what Cohen and y'all were looking at was specifically, I think it was Will and Grace. I think I don't know. I can't remember what specific show they were looking at in that particular study, but it's so highly cited that it's considered a seminal now for parasocial breakup is the term, and parasocial breakup can be because a character left, because a character died, and it can also apply because there's no reason it would not apply to a streamer. If the streamer is now not available, that's what's called a parasocial breakup. It causes people to feel extreme sadness, anger. Remember the stages of grief, by the way. So you've removed someone that they love or that they like, and they have a parasocial relationship. They feel as if they know as like a person, and you just removed them. Well, you just killed them in their minds, in the way that the internet works, right? You killed them. So understand the reaction that will have, Lucas. Okay? It's not going to be very positive. And I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked at all. But the explosion on Twitter, it is just a complete catastrophe.
It was a bad idea to go after Nick. I'm sorry. That was
Yes,
just
it
a
was.
dumb.
I mean,
like
I'm getting like 50, 60 responses. I usually get maybe 5 or 6 or 1 or 2 really when I post stuff.
I have to remove somebody that I love, unfortunately, and that's me because I'm having pet problems and I'm having to bring him in and out of my studio because this asshole dog wants attention. So I got to bounce so I can go take my doggy outside before she does something.
Take care. Let's talk sometime.
Nice to
talk
talk
to you. You're in my Discord. You can hit me
I
up.
know. I'll come hit you up. All right. Nice to talk to you.
Legal Vices. Legal Vices just asked, does that make me a de facto vice president of LawTube now? Since he's vice president.
He went there. He went there.
Yeah,
by the way, Ken, we're at 200 likes on your stream.
Damn, that's a bit.
Me just posting that Nick had been banned from YouTube has 1,230 likes on Twitter. I have a pretty active Twitter, but that's
the Quartering shared it. The Quartering on top Twitter for searching Rekieta. Viva Prize showing up as the top result. The Quartering's next. Rekieta Law News is sharing something. Legal Mindset, PSA Sitch, Ryan the Editors, Krigler. Like these are Odyssey shared something. A notable YouTuber named Rekieta Law was deplatformed today. Fortunately, he's been proactively building his community on Odyssey. News of creators being deplatformed really sucks, especially when the grounds are stupid. Tug shared something. Good Logic shared something, and I mean these have dozens or hundreds of likes, retweets, and shit.
Yeah.
Drex's Twitter. So Drex got on Twitter recently, and he's only got maybe a couple hundred followers. Normally, when Drex tweets, he gets like 3 replies and a couple of retweets and likes. He tweeted about Nick and got 80 replies, 169 retweets, 600 likes. Like look at what was it at @real_Drex and just look at his tweets. Right, he gets like maybe 20 likes on average for his tweets.
I don't know.
And now he's at 650. Where'd it go?
Does anyone know who Luke Rudkowski is? Apparently, he's a New York Times guy. I guess he shared something about Nick. and it's got like 1,500 likes, 300 retweets, 300 almost 250 comments. Like, but like this is a bunch of people. Like this is not an insignificant amount of people. Hypocrites talking about it. They go
Everyone
Vices,
is.
Razor Fist.
Yes, Sitch, everybody.
Well, see,
Tug,
Lego
yeah.
Mindset is live right now.
All the Flashcast and Geeks and Gamer groups are talking about it.
What's insane? It's absolutely fucking insane.
Like, it just
It
doesn't
feels
make.
like a funeral. Honestly.
Cernovich talked about it. Cernovich is tweeting about it.
Joe
like-
is.
I'm surprised that like. Oh shit! Really, really, Ethan Ralph? What a fucking cunt!
Yeah, I know, because he is
What
a
did he
cunt.
say?
What a fucking.
I know you're seeing what I saw earlier.
Nick
yeah.
Rekieta is always
him.
welcome on Cozy in the wake of his YouTube ban. Generous Nicholas J already offered him a spot. Fuck you,
him.
Ralph.
Fuck Ralph, man.
Fuck
Brittany
the
Venti's
race.
talking about it. Memology, Dame Pesos were sharing. If I didn't mention, like,
Grigler, yeah, Odyssey, yeah, you mentioned them.
oh, look at this. Look, someone posted this. One of the people supporting Nick shared this, but apparently this is from someone else's Twitter. But this is interesting. They said from Gaius Fesh, when Nick Rekieta issued death threats against Keffel, many of us were like, that seems like an ethics violation, and contacted the Minnesota State Bar, which is not how it works. It's Professional Responsibility Board. I just got this letter which I stated they are not going to investigate. I have 2 weeks to appeal. This was on October 3rd. So someone seems a bit upset that they didn't get their way when they spoke to the manager. Because Nick's manager is himself, which Nick's told stories about how people have called to try and talk to Rekieta Law's owner and don't realize that he's the owner. And like, you have an employee, Nick. And he's
We
before
didn't realize
people,
that the number that if you look up Rekieta Law, the number that's there is his cell phone.
yeah. Like, like I'm fucking hilarious that until people didn't realize that for a long time when he was telling those stories. I'm like, that's fucking great. You're so fucking stupid. So, let's see. What the fuck is this? Okay, I'm trying to check out this person's Twitter. Drop Kiwi Farms shared something about Nick Rekieta. They said, wait, what the fuck? What the hell? Just got yeeted from YouTube in real time. Rekieta's reaction to his banning from YouTube. So they're fucking gloating over it.
Surprise.
Not surprised at all, but yeah, this person's kind of these people who are like poking the bear, like I'm not trying. Like I was saying earlier, it's not a good idea to go like nuclear, like take a minute, collect evidence, and because you can't tell the internet to do anything. Like just take a breather, don't react, proactively do something. Like this is obviously a difficult situation for everybody. Especially like with those parasocial relationships. So take a minute, breathe, figure out what the right answer to do, figure out what Nick wants to do. Nick's not going to, like, he was legitimately in his chat because someone said, what if I found the names and addresses of all those people from the thing? How would you feel if I shared them hypothetically? And Nick's like, I'm not going to tell anyone to do anything because I don't want nothing to do with that. And that's the best take. Like, but Nick's going to want a specific direction, I would assume. And if you support Nick, I would think you would want to kind of go along with the direction he's going. That's the way I would do it. Like if Nick is like, generally I don't want this, I would be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But if you really want to, go ahead. But I think it would hurt Nick, so I wouldn't do anything like that. Like I said, I could be DDoSing, I could be doxing right now instead of streaming. I think it's, better served by approaching it thoughtfully and taking a methodical approach to it.
Can you switch me with Outpost Nerd? It just looks like I have my back turned to everyone.
Better?
There we go. God, I love that picture. The artist did a really good job.
It's very
That's the same artist that does all of Drex's thumbnails. Shout out to him. He doesn't like being named, but you know who you are. Shout out to you.
Taylor Lorenz shared something, apparently.
Oh,
Fake pro
God.
dev YouTuber who instigated Gamergate style harassment campaigns was banned.
Go fuck yourself, Taylor.
Gamergate 2. We just
Well,
need to
you know
get.
what?
Let's get Biden to tweet about Gamergate. Let's get Biden to tweet
I'm
about
gonna go
Gamergate.
wish Taylor Lorenz a happy 60th birthday.
Yeah, hit the fucking wall, you bitch.
Hey, you just hate that Taylor Lorenz looks better than you. So
I honestly look at my picture. I honestly don't think she does.
No, I don't think so. No offense.
Okay,
where's
Darian.
her Nick Rekieta tweet? Hang on.
God, that's
also
Where'd she-
apparently Vosh was supporting Nick being banned too because he
No
retweeted.
shit, of course he was.
I was surprised that Vosh would. I'm not
Scum
totally
fuck.
surprised, but I'm kind of surprised. So
Wait, where's Lorenz's tweet about it?
someone
Rekieta,
took a
leader of
screenshot of it.
Gamergate. Oh my
I can't-
god,
I didn't
Gamergate
see it.
style
Yeah, I'll pull the
harassment
pic.
campaign.
I'll pull the picture. I'll pull it up. Hold on. Someone. It's a screenshot. I don't have the actual tweet.
Oh, she may have.
It
or
may have
she
been
deleted
pulled,
it.
but this is what it was. Of course, only people
Well, wait,
who
if you
follow
can't
her
find it, it might have been
mention.
faked.
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't-
on her tweets
I-
or replies.
but
I
Oh,
this-
didn't have-
fuck this bitch.
It seems
Yeah,
like
fuck.
something they would say though.
Oh, it absolutely is something she would say. That's what I.
This is
See
why
what
you
you
don't
mean.
Yeah.
screenshot. Use archive.is or archive.today, and actually
Yeah, that might
archive
have
the
been
tweet.
faked.
That because it's harder to fake shit like that. Use archive today or Wayback Machine or something
I don't.
to actually archive the tweet. Don't just take a screenshot.
Yeah, I don't see it. She may have deleted it though, but I don't see it. So
And Drop Kiwi Farms is going
Wait,
after
wait,
Fiber
wait.
Hub, who's hosting Kiwi Farms right now. So they're still.
no, here it is. Here it is. Wait, is this it? Big pro dep YouTuber who investigates Gamergate style harassment campaigns.
Though it's the same tweet.
It's hard to tell. It's someone's been
Oh, that
been limited. I don't know.
Catherine Tucson tweeted something about it. Consequences for my actions, and then a clip of Nick's video where he. Fuck Catherine Tucson. She's a fucking cunt.
She's a cunt.
There's a Keppel's derangement syndrome Twitter called Keppel's Haters. Apparently.
Caffles is a
That-
vile human being.
Well, apparently this is making fun of people who hate Keppel's. It seems.
What's
like
been infuriating that Caffles has been trending on Twitter for like 4 fucking weeks, which I'm sure that he masturbates to every morning.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know. That is not a.
Nicholas
God.
Duro said
By the way-
Caffles co-signed her brainless supporters doxing themselves by writing their full legal names and false complaints to the Minnesota Bar Association. So Nicholas Duro is a
Yeah.
like a drama YouTuber, but even he's like a left-leaning person, and even he's like, fuck that, man, because this is insane. Like, there's nobody who's not out of their mind who doesn't think who thinks that this is okay. Like, hey, we're going to try and ruin your life. Here's people who try to ruin my life. Oh, how dare you! How dare you reveal who I am?
It's funny. We should. I know Drex was planning on doing like a big takedown of the Troon Squad. We were going to
You might
invite
wanna hold back.
Crumbry on to, talk about the otherism that goes on in that community. But I don't know. I think Drex is going to accelerate the timeline tonight. There, he said he's got an hour before he's back from work. So I think Drex is going to fire up the
By
stream
work,
machine.
he means getting his toes warmed. Sorry.
You know what I'm gonna miss? God damn it! I'm going to miss people like making fun about his wife and foot butt stuff. And
I love
all
Drex.
that.
I don't always agree with him, but I love him. He's awesome.
Oh, I mean, Drex and I have had many heated conversations, but Drex is still a great person to talk to. Nick and I have had disagreements in like conversations. Like
The
that
thing
doesn't,
I
like
love
that's how
about-
you're supposed to be as a person. You can have friends and shit that you don't agree on on topics. Like you can have different views or different politics, and you could still fucking be friends. You could still associate with people. Trust me.
The
It's
thing
some-
I
like-
love about Drex is he talks to people like they've forgotten their own names. 'Cause he's always like, listen, Tim, or Ken, you know what I mean? Ken, come on, you know what I'm saying. He always
Yeah, I
starts.
love that.
He has a he has a mate. Like, listen, because the thing about Drex that I find very interesting, he's a fantastic listener. He
Yes,
listens to whatever the
Oh,
fuck
yes.
you say.
you
He
see him listening. He's
Mhm.
that attentive. He's that laser focused on what you're saying.
Well,
He
that's
actually
why
cares
he
about what
does
you're
so
saying.
well
And
with.
he's gonna
Like he's
respond
probably
to it,
got
yeah.
more female friends than he has male friends.
Mm-hmm.
Only because he's banging them.
No, he's probably not
I'm
banging
just,
half.
I mean, that probably has part probably something to do with it.
And when he and Nick get together, they are the funniest show on fucking YouTube.
You know what will be
It
really
is.
funny is all these people who are dancing on Nick's grave is when the strike gets overturned in like a couple days maybe.
Probably
Like,
tomorrow. It would be.
I'm hoping tomorrow. That'll be the funniest thing because all these people are like, Nick has consequences for his actions because he can't just say whatever he wants. I'm sorry, what was that? That'd be great. So
This is
Drax
all
making
these
names.
really bad moves. Like this is what has happened every single goddamn time with the Keffels Brigade. By the way, Keffels was like, "I took down Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is over."
they came back
destroyed
within
and
like a
gone."
week.
Well, first of all, they didn't come back within a week. You and I both.
I mean,
know
they were
this.
on tour, but they
were on
came back to
tour
the.
immediately. So, like, because immediately when
Well,
that shit
then-
happened, I was like, "Oh no, what happened?" And I went,
They never really went away from. They were
On
always on
tour.
tour. The tour nodes were taking a hit because the tour. It's a lot harder to use Tor, especially with a dynamic website like
Yeah.
the bulletin board system that he uses. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It's a lot harder to run on Tor. It's better for static sites, but
Yeah,
he was able to get back on the surface web
Well,
within like a week or two.
for,
Like
the
it didn't
week
take
we had
much.
to use it on tour. It was not the best week.
It's so awful. It's like worse than being in like a genocide in a third world country, man. I had to use Tor to get to Kiwi Farms. Oh
I
my
remember-
god.
And it's a funny thing, right? Like you and I talk about that. Like, and speaking of as a Keffel thing, right? Like I've talked about this a billion times. It doesn't matter. Kiwi Farms has a threat on me that's pretty extensive. People there don't like me. They don't like anybody. It's a gossip website. That's fine. But I support the site to exist because it's free fucking speech. Keffels is infuriated the site exists because it exposes the shit that he's done. And I am using the he pronouns because I do not respect Keffels. People I like I've been like, oh, can you use the female pronouns because it's respectful? No, because here's the thing. That's you're asking me to be respectful. That implies that I respect the person. I don't respect Lucas Roberts. I don't respect him at all.
Yeah, like
He's
when I talk to
an evil
Crumbrion,
person.
I say she, her, because, you know, Crumb and I are really cool with one another.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Like, I have no. I would never call Blair White by male pronouns, right? You know.
Yeah.
And I just to Sophia earlier tonight. It's like, yeah, well, Sophia, like I would use Sophia as female pronouns because Sophia's again, respect is earned. It's not just deserved, right? And even if I don't know you and you just say, here's my pronouns, here's who I am, be like, okay, and I go by it. You have to have done something for me to be like, oh, I don't respect you now.
So I'm in the comments of one of those tweets from that person that was bitching about their complaint being denied. It's not this person, but it's another person says, if doing an action is enough to get you fired, it is not unethical to report you for doing said action. That's bullshit. I got fired for doing literally nothing wrong.
I got fired for doing nothing wrong. And by the way, from Destiny's fan base, many years ago now, which I do not blame Destiny for, I used to, but like it was many years ago, right? Was people in Destiny's fan base, which he had no control over, by the way. Mess called my school. It probably went to like 3 of them, to be fair. It's just about all it takes. And
It
they
doesn't
said
take much.
no. And they said, Aiden is acting inappropriately, XYZ. As a doc student, you're already on thin ice constantly because they don't like you're already on thin ice. So any excuse is like, all right, well, we don't fuck you. Bye. It didn't matter that I was a very good doc student. None of that mattered. It was that and that was why they didn't make it very public. It was just like very private of being like, we would really like if you just resigned from your commission. And I went, okay. And I resigned my commission. My how do you call it? My agreement to university was over.
I mean, I work in a very left-leaning career field as someone who's more right of center than I mean, I probably lean more than that, but just as a general descriptor. And like, I have to tiptoe around ethical rules and shit that have relate like that fall within those things that are more left leaning. But even so, I still am very cautious of what I do. Not like nothing I'm doing here is unethical. When when I got hired at my last job, I told, after being fired, I'm like,
Of course,
this is what happened. Here's my YouTube channel. You want to go watch my videos? I gave them the link, and like they never said anything about it. They were like, okay, we don't care what you do in your private time.
That kind of that should be the way that things are. I think the thing is things were a little bit different, like 2016. It was like, what?
Things have changed a lot.
People on the internet are mad at you, and it's like, yeah, they are. And also, it was, again, being a doctoral student is a little bit different, right? You're already like kind of operating all of it on the university's pleasure, right? They're paying for me to go there. They're paying for me to teach. They're paying for me, and they continue to pay for me to teach, even if they kind of fired me as a student, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't just rescind my capacity to make money immediately because they knew that would. But I was teaching online, so it was very outside of the public, right? The reality is, though, that was really fucked up in the big scheme of things, wasn't it? And I mean, when that happened to me, I tried to kill myself,
Yeah.
Because what else do you do? It's like everything I've worked my entire life for is over.
How it feels.
And the reason why I started doing YouTube, started doing politics stuff, was as a way to get away from the stress of being a graduate student, right? And then my way of de-stressing and getting away from it is what actually totally lost my job. And in fact, I had been, because again, I had been on a sabbatical because I had tried to kill myself. And I had been in a mental hospital for like 3 months. And the university had graciously, allowed me to, they hadn't kicked me out or anything. Well, that would have been a terrible look for them if they had, right?
A bit, yeah.
I had a very bad luck of like, oh, we stressed our student out so much that they tried to kill themselves and we kicked them out while they were in the mental hospital. That would have been a terrible look. I think that they wanted to kick me out no matter what, just because they knew that I had, mental health issues. But, it was not a good way to do that, was to kick me out. And
I was saying earlier, after I got fired last year, I drove from my former workplace to the VA to talk to a therapist because I didn't know how I was doing. And I knew, having dealt with 2 attempts before, I was like, I'm not okay right now. I need to do something to try and make myself okay. Because I didn't know if I could trust myself to drive home, like the 25 minutes home.
Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes away. I'm like, I'm just going to go to VA and see what happens. I got in to see someone for like 30 minutes more than I should have, but because they squeezed me in, and they're a psychiatrist, so they normally don't have long appointments.
Yeah.
But they were pissed too. They were like,
goddamn.
Like, because I've tried, I have begged to find someone. Like, there's still a $500 bounty it still sits out there. $500 if someone can prove how I violated ethics. Cite the timestamps, cite the ethical rule, and give it to me. I will put it in front of 3 people who are in this field who are licensed as well, and see if they agree with it. And if they do, I will give you $500 to do whatever you want with. No one has taken me up on my offer. Not a single person has tried.
No one would ever do that to me either. Now it was different, obviously. Like with a grad student, just be like, you can just. I have a document about this today, which is astonishing because this stuff, it's getting so insane within the university system, which is where is it? Organic chemistry teacher has been fired from New York University because his classes were too hard. This guy was previously tenured at Princeton and chose to move to New York University. They fired him because 350 students signed a petition saying his class was too hard.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Someone on Twitter talking about the free. So someone on Twitter talking to that person who sent one of the complaints. Free speech does not apply to hate speech. He should be silenced. Maybe one day he could earn back his free speech, but I wouldn't count on it. And then someone replied, "It literally does, though." And I can say that yes, the Supreme Court has agreed that hate speech is free speech, bitch. Like,
There's no
don't be
such thing
stupid.
as hate speech.
In the
Fuck
United States, quote unquote hate speech is free speech. The only
There's no
few
such thing as
exceptions
hate
to
speech.
free speech are calls for imminent lawless action, fighting words, which has only ever been used in
Yeah.
one case, child pornography, only because the
Well,
person cannot consent, and anything that's considered,
as I said.
what is it? What's the word? Obscene, which is a vague definition that the judges literally said, "I'll know it when I see it." But
When
if
I
you
see
look
it-
at Pornhub today, all of that's pretty much free speech because it's common community standard. So
Pornhub's
triple
a Canadian
ask-
company, by the way.
really?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, shit.
Well, the CP stuff is okay. First of
One
all,
good thing that Canada has done for us, Pornhub.
Well, and
Kidding.
August.
Based.
there's a lot of reasons why CP is illegal, but
Yeah.
least of which is because
Well, the person can't consent.
they can't consent. Yeah, so that's
Well, it's like what was that case a few
one of the quadrillion reasons. why it
Twitter
should-
was it what a couple of years ago at least. I don't remember when it happened. The a child was had it happen, and the guy posted pictures of the child in compromising situations, and the parents reported it to Twitter. Saying,
Oh, and they said it was fine. Yeah, remember
yeah,
that?
and they had to go to
Then
court.
Nick
The
brought
kid
that
was
up.
underage.
Yeah.
But
Well, we know
that's
the real
okay.
reason
But
he got banned off YouTube is because he brought that up. He brought up that issue with Twitter, and obviously that's the protected class, right?
But you can go
People who enjoy that
you
stuff.
can go search YouTube right now and find
You can
some
find
of the
pornography on
Yeah,
YouTube.
you could
Right.
find
Hardcore pornography.
oh god, but that's okay. That seems to be okay.
Also, Canada does. So yeah, Pornhub is a Canadian company. We do not have the same First Amendment protections up here. Hate speech.
yeah, y'all
is
have
illegal
like
in
no
Canada.
free speech. Yeah, y'all don't have free speech. Like, y'all don't have free speech protections. Y'all don't have
We have freedom of
access
expression.
to. You don't have access to lawyers when being questioned for crimes, which is which I've discussed on stream before, and is the most bullshit thing that your fucking country is
No,
doing
that's
at the
just
moment.
no.
It's-
That's just
it's-
designed
it's-
to look. It criminalizes.
It's to
retards.
make it easier for the police to do their job. It's literally
Yes,
the
exactly.
fucking court rulings on it. Your
Yes,
court,
exactly.
your
It
fucking system
criminalizes
is broken.
retardation, is what it does.
Pornhub
You can't just sit there and be like, "No, I'm not talking to you. I'm waiting for my lawyer."
No, you
And then
can't
you
do
start
that.
talking to
started
the
in
police.
Canada.
You're a retard.
Pornhub started in Canada. It's actually headquartered in Cyprus. I just
Oh,
Wikipedia'd
really?
it. And that makes so much sense because they're so
It's owned by a Quebec company. It's
Mm.
Canadian.
yeah, Mind
What
Geek
the
it's
fuck?
called. Yep, it's owned by a company in Quebec. I wonder if Trudeau has any.
Pass out. I should have gone to sleep. 5
Yeah,
hours
I was
ago.
gonna say I wanted to end this in time for people to jump over and watch Nick. Go watch him on Rumble. Go watch him on
Yeah.
Odyssey. Whatever your choice is. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you guys want to subscribe to me on Rumble to get me to 100 subs, so I can fucking actually stream on Rumble, that would be
Yeah, let's
appreciated.
go.
But like,
Do you have a
but I
Rumble?
appreciate I'm trying to get the links back up. I posted them earlier, but I lost
No,
them. They
just
should
on-
still be pinned to the chat, I think. I think
yeah.
they're still pinned. Yeah, okay. Also, I forgot to end the poll in which Judge the Simp, which it looks like it was basically a tie.
Oh wow!
Yeah, share it. Your Rumble.
Ooh.
37, 32, 29. Okay, so Mommy Chew barely won.
But
Yeah.
Judge Judy really
you came
held
in
her own in that
32.
one.
Yeah, she did.
So many
But
people
yeah.
wrong. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, go subscribe to Nick on Odyssey and Rumble. Go follow him on Locals. You don't even have to pay. Just follow him to get the alerts
Yeah.
of streams. If you really want to support him, it's $5 a month. Just like me, you want to support me, it's $5 a month. Sub to me on Rumble so I can start streaming on Rumble. This was a like sudden stream. I kind of just did this off the cuff. If you want me to be able to stream on Rumble, I need to have enough people to stream on Rumble. I don't have that right now. So also thank you to everybody who's super chatted tonight. I'm very much appreciative. But please go watch Nick. I don't think I'll be on tonight as a guest. I would never assume that, but if he wants to be up, I'll come up. but I'm sure he's going to have a great show tonight. I'm sure he's pissed. If you like Nick, go support him. Be positive. If you want to financially support him, do it. If you don't have the money, just send him kind words. He loves that. He'll tell you he doesn't like ever ask for money. But,
No. And by the way, again, as I'm sure all of us here know, Nick is legitimately a good human being. He probably wouldn't even agree to that himself, but he is. And all I want to say on my last point on that is God bless you, Nick. I will be praying for you. I know that might not mean much to many people, but if you are a Christian,
I know it means a lot to Nick.
Means a lot to Nick.
Yeah, and I will be praying for him. And if you are a Christian, also just think about him in your prayers before you go to sleep tonight, or whatever, you know.
Well, Ken will definitely think of Nick next time he's on his knees.
Oh, yeah.
I wondered that was coming. I expected it, and you did not.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
Yeah. Also, make sure you follow
Tim.
Yeah, so check out MGTOWN, check out Lost in Law, check out Aiden Paladin's channel. Outpost Third, I don't know if you have anything. Also check out Adonis Paul because he was here earlier. Thank you everybody for showing up for this late night stream. I don't normally stream at night. This was kind of like I said, off the cuff. Someone was like, no one's talking about Nick, and then Legal Mindset and everyone else goes on after I go.
No,
I'm like, fuck.
I was literally like, who's talking about Nick? Who's talking about Nick? And I was like, oh, I see my friend Ken is talking about Nick.
Ken's talking about Nick. We're friends. We're internet friends.
Can
I be a friend like Takasaw?
Planning. I don't know what Drex is planning. I don't know if he's gonna go live on his channel or if he's gonna call into Nick's show on Rumble. But one way or another, it sounds like Drex is fired up. And
I'm sure.
I mean, fired up Drex is the best Drex.
No, I saw a response to a tweet that he made earlier. He said, Nick's enemies are my enemies. I'm like, holy shit, that's a friend right there.
Well, well, okay, Nick's enemies are my enemies as well. I agree. If you're enemies with Nick, you're enemies with me. Fuck off. Get fucked. And Keffels, suck my dick. The one that you don't have anymore.
Red pill.
My lady one that you don't have either.
Can I borrow yours?
Aiden's doing that clit enlargement stuff that people apparently do.
No, I'm gonna inject testosterone.
Which is actually a thing.
Don't let her lie. She's a futon.
I discovered that once by accident, and I was amazed.
By accident. Okay.
Yeah, it was totally by accident. I just stumbled across the. Thank you, Reddit, for making me more degenerate.
Literally.
God damn it,
I tripped and fell into the enlarged clitoris. Clitori.
Wow. What a way
totally
to
I forgot to tie my. I forgot to fucking tie my shoes.
I know how it.
Swall shade in the chat. Futa Aiden fan art incoming. Sorry.
I will pay money.
It's time. It's time for that. All right. That's how my my tooth cracked. Yeah, my fucking tooth is killing me right now. But,
Lex. I put my links up in further up in the comments. But yeah, it's so you want to find me and Drex on MGTOWN Podcast. You can also find me Lost in Law, where I do my LawTube channel. I get to brag now that I have more subscribers than Nick on YouTube.
Oh come on, that's too soon. Too soon, Tim. Too soon.
It hurts that you say that, but it hurts more that you beat me to it.
Y'all are horrible people.
Follow me on the Outpost Nerd. Come here. You'll hear She-Hulk talk that you won't hear anywhere else, I guess.
There you go.
You want to hear a stupid idiot's take on pop culture, it's your place to go.
There you go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit the outro and so we can go watch Rekieta.
Let's go.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for popping up. Have a great night. Make sure you guys support everyone. Have a nice evening.
Crash it, change it, melt, upgrade it, chart it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it.